Yeah.
Finish painting?
No, it wasn't painting today.
You going to the Axel Awards or whatever it is tomorrow night?
Don't think so. I don't think so. I hope you're going to be there.
So far, the ladies are not. So
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
just
no.
hope my dog won't explode.
Oh, no.
And dogs.
So we gained one on one side and lost one on the other. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Montez?
He moves quick. I didn't even see him take off.
That's what I said. I hope we gained one over there. No. Oh. Thank you. Oh. Huh? Mr. Are we gonna go ahead and start?
We could. No. Yeah, I mean, it's. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes.
May I have a motion to move out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And closed session ended at 7:06. Tonight we have a full school board meeting, but first let's have our very own Bemis Elementary School Bobcat Student Council President. Is it Leilani? Leilani Panuco? Panuco. Hello, Miss Panuco. She's from the 5th grade and she'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now Bobcat Student Council Vice President Daniel Vega, also from the 5th grade, will introduce the class presentation from Mrs. Maria Olivia Alcaraz's 2nd grade class.
Mrs. Alcaraz's 2nd grade class will be reciting a poem in Spanish entitled Nuestra Casa and a poem in English entitled Earth Day Mix-Up.
Ella es nuestra
Good job.
So cute.
Right. Thank you to the school side administration, the team, the teachers, the parents for coming out to show us your support for your talented students. Go Bobcats. Bemis, thank you. Leilani, matching, pretty girl. She's wearing the same color room.
Yes. I've been offered some Earth Day cake. Yeah, and
So cute.
made from mud pie.
Can we have our report out of closed session, please?
We have none.
Okay. Now we'll move to the adoption of the agenda. But first, prior to approving the agenda, please make the following corrections under section B, presentations. Number 4 has been changed to customer care presentation by the personnel services. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I will motion
Second.
as amended.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No abstentions? Motion passes. And we'll move on to presentations. Our first presentations will be our high school district student advisory committee, DSAC presentations. And our board member, Mr. Collier, is not here. Do we have the list of? Excellent.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Alexis Rodriguez, and I am the proud ASB Vice President of Rialto High School. First, we'd like to thank Carter and Eisenhower's ASB classes for our ASB mixer held this past Monday. We had a great time meeting you all, and thanks again to Carter and Mrs. Brody for hosting the event. This past month, our Knights have done great things, and I'm excited to share that with you this evening. We'd like to congratulate our future scientists and Mrs. Valero for having a very successful year at the Sims County Science Fair. They brought home 2 silver medals, 5 gold medals, and an invitation to represent Rialto High School at the International Science and Engineering Fair this May. You'll be meeting all of them later this evening. We are pleased to announce that Mr. Manny Medrano was chosen to represent our school at Boys State. He will join Ms. Brianna Quintero as she represents Girls State in Sacramento this summer. Congratulations to Miss Cameron Chopay, as she was chosen as the Kiwanis Student of the Year for the City of Rialto, and to Miss Carla Zermino, who is a recipient of the RIMS Avid Scholarship for this year. There you go. As a senior, I am so excited for our 2017 prom. It will take place on April 29th at the Codo Valley Country Club, and our theme is A Secret Garden. Knights are ready to dance the night away under the stars. We are so very thankful to be able to provide free formal dresses and accessories to our community thanks to the creation of the Knights Boutique. With the hard work and drive from Mrs. Lisa Garcia and Mrs. Araceli Flores, Rialto High has had over 100 gowns donated to our site. We'd like to continue and expand our boutique next year, and we could not have done it without their help. Thank you again. We would love to invite you all to the Spring Pep Rally taking place this Friday. We are eager to announce the 2017 valedictorian and salutatorian, honor the top 10 students in each class, and to give thanks to the teachers who will retire at the end of this school year. One of those teachers, Mrs. Bartlett, just finished an amazing showing of her 21st musical Swan Song. The rally is promised to be another amazing Rialto High production, so please stop by and see it in person. As always, we welcome you to stop by Rialto High and see what makes our Knight family what it is. Thank you so much for your time. Drive home safely, and have a great evening, everyone.
So I'm going to assume, is this Carter, right? Okay, thank you. I know, Eisenhower.
Good evening, board members, viewing audience, and Superintendent Dr. Avila.
My name is Gilbert Mosqueda, and I am the ASB Treasurer at Carter High School. First and foremost, thank you for allowing me to be here to celebrating last month's successes and announcing upcoming events. I'd like to start with items to celebrate. Congratulations to our boys soccer team and Coach Navarro, who placed fifth, 5 of our players on the Division IV All-CIF team. We are also recognizing an incredible group of students and coaches who ran and completed the 26.2-mile Los Angeles Marathon over spring break. Our fastest runner of the day was freshman Edward Carrillo, who came in just over 4 hours. Another item to be proud of, in early March, Carter High School hosted its annual Citrus Belt Speech Region League Championship Tournament. Carter High School qualified 3 students for the state championship tournament in April. Ziatelli and Emmanuel Armenta Silva and Eric Ruvicalba. Congratulations to the teams and best of luck in state this month. Girls wrestling senior Michelle Camacho finished 7th place at Nationals. Michelle is one of the only few athletes in Rialto history to be named an All-American Athlete recognition. This Friday, soccer players Jonathan Derueda and Manuel Madrigal will be signing their national letters of intent to University of Laverne and Mount Marty College. Congratulations to both. Please help us congratulating Mr. Miller and the cast of Dino. For those of you who didn't get to see our spring production, it was a very beautiful play with a talented cast. Mr. Miller, thank you for all that you do to create a purpose and engagement for our students. For 2017 SIM, Science and Engineering Fair, Carter had several silver medal winners: Yvette Gonzalez, Joseph Martinez, Jose Luis Reyes, and Nakam Ndidi. Congratulations to all. For Carter EL News. Our EL program has reclassified more students this year than any other year in Carter history. 46 students to be exact. Also, we had 69 students who will receive the State Seal of Biliteracy recognition and 84 additional seniors who can present passing SAT or AP language scores. This is a huge accomplishment. The California dashboard just came out, and we at Carter are very happy with our 93.5 graduation rate and 42.9 A through G rate. Our grade rate being 11% higher than the state, and the highest in Rialto Unified School District. And I'd also like to congratulate Felicia Correa for being selected as a recipient of the AATG Senior Student Trip Award to Germany. Her application stood among the many strong applicants from across the nation. We are very proud of her accomplishments. Thank you to our scholars, student athletes, and coaches for bringing back to the Rialto community these recognitions. This last month, we had too many events to speak about, but I would like to mention prom. We had a great prom in Mission Viejo that was enjoyed and attended by over 600 students. Our Parent Institute for Quality Education courses have been in effect this last month and will continue into May. We've had a great turnout of parents loving it. All this week, Carter students have been testing and will continue to test in the SBAC through the month and AP testing in the month of May. Students and staff are looking forward to the high scores to come. Our students are ready to do their best. Now for upcoming events. This Friday, ASB will be hosting its annual Life Skills Dance from 6 to 8:30 p.m. in the MPR. AVID will also have its annual banquet, and we will celebrate in the next few weeks at the Seniors Award Night. That's it for me. And remember, if you don't already, please follow us on Twitter for more Lion news. Thank you for your time and support, and have a great evening.
Eisenhower High School.
Good evening, board members, family, and friends. I am Dorian, and I'm the ASB Vice President representing Eisenhower High School. As we begin to wind down in our year, we are making the transition for our upcoming students. We held our Future Eagles Night where 8th grade students as well as current students were able to come and experience what high school is all about. They were able to sign up with sports teams to find out dates about practices as well as a variety of clubs at Eisenhower. They got the opportunity to see some of our performing arts programs perform and get a little feel of what it is all about and how Ike is ran. Minus the sleepless nights and the stressing over AP classes, but I think that's just me. We also held our Distinguished Scholar Ceremony, where our students with the 4.0 or above were honored for their academic achievements, as well as having their college plans announced for their upcoming future. We are pleased to announce our top students, Claudia Ramos, who will be attending UC Santa Barbara, and Leticia Camacho, who will be attending UCLA. These two young ladies are both tied for salutatorian. And as well as our valedictorian, Amishi Bagat, will be attending USC on a full ride, and we are pleased to present her as our valedictorian. We are happy to have our students soaring high and working hard and showing what it means to be an Eisenhower Eagle. Nevertheless, we held a few events not long ago with our Spring Festival where we had multiple prom vendors out so students can earn some deals on things like tuxedos, dresses, corsages, hair, and limos. We had great prices for students, and for those parents out there with high school seniors, I know you know how expensive our last year is. We also had our staff lip sync battle where our staff dueled it out, and the winner of that was Miss Ibrahimi. Not only that, but our Enchanted Nights themed dinner detective was held not too long ago, and for you to get the full feel of it, you just had to be there. Last week, we held an anti-bullying rally where we had some BMX riders to do a couple of tricks and even a backflip. This gave a chance for students to receive statistics on bullying, how big it is in the nation, and how to prevent it. Furthermore, we are now coming close to our pep rally, and we are presenting our top 20 staff, known as our fairy godparents, as well as King Sparks knighting our staff members and giving them praise for their achievements, as well as being supportive to our students. While praising our staff members for their dedication and hard work, we have some very talented students in our drama production class who are hosting their own written plays starting today through Friday at 6 p.m., as well as Friday having a dinner included at 5 p.m. located in R1. Furthermore, as our time begins to run out this year, we are pleased with the development and improvement of our school, with our field being built, new programs for students, more AP classes, and more exciting and fun events for our students and staff. With that being said, I believe that Eisenhower is on track for success and showing what Ike Pride is all about. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Is Milo here tonight? No? Okay. Next, we'll go into our recognition awards presentations. First, we'll start off with our recognition of Carter High School German teacher, Mrs. Denise Martinez, and Carter High School senior, Felisa Correa.
I have to say this is a real pleasure for me because I happen to know this teacher very, very well because we worked together at Carter High School. And when I was there, her students loved her. She, if you can imagine making teaching German fun and easy, she can do it. And so I was delighted to have the opportunity to present this. It is a challenge for most of us to master one language, let alone trying to be bilingual. But the Rialto Unified School District is fortunate that with the help of an outstanding German teacher at Carter High School, Felisa Correa, a student at Carter High School, has earned the experience of a lifetime, and soon she will be Germany bound. 17-year-old Felisa has been awarded an all-expense-paid summer study trip to Germany. She was selected as a national winner after scoring in the 98th percentile on the Level 4 2017 National German Exam for High School Students, sponsored by the American... This test is sponsored by the American Association of Teachers of German. Over 20,000 students participated in the program. After qualifying with a high score on the National German Exam, she submitted responses to several short essay questions in German and in English, and was then interviewed by a committee comprised of high school teachers and college professors mastering German. So this was no easy feat. I mean, this was a lot of work and a lot of expertise to get this award. The national study trip for Felisa will include a round-trip air transportation to Germany from New York, a home stay in a host family, and excursions to places of cultural and historical significance. Felisa will experience the culture through firsthand experiences living with a German family and attending school. Felisa's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Juan and Rosalinda Correa, are they here? I'm sure. Come on up, please. Are very proud of their daughter's success. She also has one sister, Abigail Correa, who is a freshman at Chaffey College. Is Abigail here?
She really wants to come up.
Oh. Felisa plans on attending UCLA and majoring in biochemistry with a minor in foreign language. She wants to become a physician and help low-income residents. We congratulate you, Felisa, but also when a student is one of a dozen scholars in the United States who earns the top percentile score in the country, you have to know that there is a force behind that. For Felisa, that force is Mrs. Denise Martinez, her German teacher at Carter High School. Mrs. Martinez has been a teacher at RUSD since 1999, teaching first at Eisenhower High School and then transferring to Carter High School in 2004. She earned her master's degree from Azusa Pacific in curriculum and instruction and her bachelor's degree from the University of Iowa in German and secondary education. She also attended Salzburg College in Salzburg, Austria, and earned her German as a second language degree from Goethe Institute in Chicago, Illinois. Did I pronounce it right? Oh, very good. I feel so honored to have had Felisa as one of my students for the past 4 years. Why don't you read what you said?
Yes, so I do feel so honored to have had Felisa as one of my students for the past 4 years. I am also so very excited for her to have this opportunity to visit Germany and to study and to travel there for 4 weeks this summer. This experience will be a life-changing one for her. And this is such a big deal. For her to have been chosen, and it's evidence of her hard work and dedication to her education. So good job, Lisa. And it's also very humbling to be recognized. Being an educator is not only what I do, it's who I am. It's so exciting to come to work every day and share my passion of language learning with my students. I work very hard, and I'm always trying to find ways to become a better teacher for my students.
Equally proud, and I should have called her up before, is Carter High School Principal Dr. Patricia Chavez. Why don't you come over here and read what you said?
Okay. This award is a prime example of the quality students and educators at Carter High School. We are very proud of Felicia's accomplishments, and we are certain that this young lady will be able to accomplish anything she sets her mind to. And for Ms. Martinez, this accomplishment award is hers as well. Ms. Martinez deserves this recognition for her support of our foreign language programs and for her relentless effort in improving every aspect of our students' academic experiences.
Thank you. Come on over here with the rest of the crowd. Okay, on behalf of the Board of Education, congratulations to both our nationally recognized student and teacher. We are very proud indeed, and as they say in German, Glückwünsche. Did I say it right? Or muy bien.
Oh, very good. That was good. That was good.
Okay, we would like to present you with these plaques. This plaque says, for excellence in teaching, presented to Mrs. Denise Martinez, Carter High School German teacher. Thank you for motivating your students to compete and win at a national level. It is due to your tenacity that one of your students scored in the 98th percentile on the Level 4 National German Exam for high school students that led to her success. We are most proud, Rialto Unified School District Board of Education. Oh, okay. Mr. Martinez, come on up. And we have another plaque, and this one says, Rialto Unified School District National German Exam winner, presented to Felisa Correa, Carter High School student. Congratulations for being selected as a national winner after scoring in the 98th percentile on the Level 4 National German Exam for high school students, sponsored by the American Association of Teachers of German, from the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education. Congratulations. After your trip and share some highlights with us. Okay, I want you guys to go shake the hands of the board members and everybody get in the middle here for some photo ops, okay?
Congratulations, you represented well. We're
I'm
proud
so
of you.
proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Excellent, nice job.
Way to go, way to go.
She did all the work. Right. Support and encouragement.
All very proud of you.
Proud moment.
Thank you for loaning her.
Right, you're like.
Make sure it gets tweeted out so I can.
Mr. Martinez next to you. And then I'm going to have your principal right next to you. Please, mother, father, sister, everybody. And then the board already knows where it goes on. Whoa! Well, I mean, they already know. Okay. Now I'm going to need you guys all to get a little bit closer. There you go. That side's great. Okay. What's her name? Aubrey. Aubrey. There you go. Aubrey right here. Aubrey. Where's Grandma?
Oh, Grandma needs to get in here. Absolutely. There's no better home without Grandma.
There you go. Let's have Grandma right. Perfect. Okay. Everybody look over here. Aubrey. Aubrey. Here. Aubrey, look at me real quick. One more for Facebook. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You make us so proud. Grandma, you come back.
You're up.
Oh, you want to say a few words, Denise? Did you want to say a few words? I'm sorry, I forgot that.
I want to hear her say it in German.
So, was ich jetzt sage, ist auf Deutsch. Ich gratuliere Felisa und ich wünsche dir alles Gute in Deutschland. Und es wird eine wirklich schöne Erfahrung für dich und ich freue mich. So just telling her I'm very proud of her and excited about her trip to Germany, and I wish her all the best.
I'm a little nervous here. I would have never had this opportunity hadn't it been for my amazing teacher, Miss Martinez. I owe her so much. She's inspired me over the years. I've never had a teacher who is so dedicated to her students and so involved in her work. And I'm constantly amazed by her dedication to teaching Carter High School students. She deserves the highest of recognitions, and I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for her. So, thank you to Miss Martinez.
Next, we'll have our recognition of San Bernardino, Inyo, Mano, and Mano as SIM Science Fair Gold Medal winners. Mono.
If I could have Mr. Ayala and Mr. Montez join me, please. Yes. Boy, that's hard to follow. But nonetheless, here we go. We are so proud of our students, our staff, our family. The San Bernardino, Inyo, and Mono Counties SIM Science and Engineering Fair was held April 4th, 2017. 37 Rialto Unified School District students were among the 466 county scholars who competed for awards and that were presented on April 5th of 2017 at the National Orange Show in San Bernardino. We had a Board of Education school board meeting that same evening, so we could not be present. However, tonight, we are very proud to announce that all of our RUSD students who participated in the SIM Science Fair, the top 6 gold medal winners, are being recognized now, tonight. 5 Rialto High School students will move on to compete in the 2017 California State Science Fair to be held in Los Angeles, April 24th and 25th. Additionally and impressively, Rialto High School students Natalie Ashonai and Ryan Ramsey qualified to compete for the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, also to be held in LA during the week of May 14th. In addition, out of all 19 RUSD elementary 4th and 5th grade, or 5 grades, the district's overall gold medal SIM winner was Sarai Pinedo Rincon. First, let me say to Sarai, come up for her plaque. One of these handsome gentlemen will hand you the plaque. Here.
You can stay standing here. Yes, please join us. Is her mother here? Yes. And her principal here? No, I can take one. You get to be a part of it. You're there. Right behind you. I'll send it to you. 1, 2, 3, smile. One more.
All right. The title of her science project was, How Much Fat is in Your Food? Come, stay up here. Okay. Now I will read our gold medal Rialto High School student winners' names and projects. Natalie Iswan, thank you. For the effect of tocotrienol and on apoptosis. Gabriel Arroyos for the effect of altitude on tropospheric ozone. Please join us, Gabriel.
Turn around, smile, and get a picture. We'll get another one, but let me get down to 1, 2, Mr. Ayala. There you go.
Join our proud students up there. Jose Ponce for the effect of altitude on tropospheric ozone. Yeah.
We didn't do it with Natalie, but I'm gonna get back to her. She's international now. Smile. You need to smile, please. If I could show it. Okay.
Victor Ornelas for the effect of altitude on tropospheric ozone. Ryan Ramsey for stepping into the future. Ryan, tell me how that Asus laptop computer or tablet's working.
Big smile. Wait. There you go. One smile, and then before we need one with her too. So let's
Absolutely.
You're good, Ryan.
There. Big smile.
Big smile. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
All right. Thank you to Rialto High School science teacher, Miss Lupa Valero. Good to see you again. You know, there's always a great teacher behind every student like this. Just love it. And Sarah High's Fitzgerald Elementary School fourth grade teacher, Miss Vicki DeHaven. Come join us, please. Not here? Okay. Rialto High School Principal, Mr. Arnie Ayala. And Fitzgerald Elementary Principal, Mrs. Yolanda Jackson. For all of them, I thank them for their leadership, and of course, thank you to our supportive parents and guardians for being our students' first and prime educators. Gentlemen, do you wish to say anything?
And then you can have the gentleman in the back here, on the Board of Education, get a picture with, and then parents, please. Right. Whichever parents here would love to get a picture. There's some parents in the other room waiting patiently. Let me announce it real quick. The parents who can see me in the west wing, you want to come down here so we can get a group picture real quickly.
A los padres que están en la ala oeste, si quieren venir a tomarse una foto, vénganse rapidito.
And while we're gathering, I just want to say on behalf of Rialto Unified School District, this is another proud moment for our families and our children. We're so proud.
We'll get the board up, and let me see if we have some parents. They want to watch. I don't think they want to take they're watching you, so say hi, Mom. Okay. Get this picture real quick. They're enjoying the show now. All right. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you. So proud of you. Very proud of you.
Great.
Very
Terrific.
proud of you.
Nice
Awesome.
I like your rhythm. Very nice.
Very proud of you. Ms. Valero, I have a little something for you. This is a bingo game for Into the Unknown for, about the James Webb Space Telescope that's going to be sent. It's a bingo game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so next well, first, let's give them another hand, because that's really significant. And I think distinctly, though, one of my noticeable things is I just saw that there, out of the 5 or 6 students from Carter, there was only one girl, and then we had the one girl. It's so important for girls to have the opportunity to engage in STEM education and projects. And so keep up the good work. Bring some other girls along with you. Be a role model, thank goodness, so that you guys standing there. But thank you for all the work that you're doing, teachers and staff, too.
That's very Gina, but you said the wrong school.
Huh?
They're from Rialto High.
Oh, they're Rialto High. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It still applies, though. It's universal. But thank you for the work. Next, we'll have a presentation from, regarding customer care from our Personnel Services Department.
You need us to move?
Yeah, we are loading up a PowerPoint. So good evening, Board of Education. Superintendent Dr. Avila, and our viewing audience. I am Rhea McIver Gibbs, the lead personnel agent for Personnel Services, and I have with me my partner, Senior Director Rhonda Kramer, and tonight we will present on customer service, or what we would like to call it, customer care, communication, appreciation, responsiveness, and environment. It's on. Which direction? We only practiced this 3-4 times. It worked every time. Okay, customer care. Tonight we will review our district strategic plan, our customer care expectations, customer care for the public, the employees. We will present a plan for staff development, introduce our customer care team, and then entertain any questions or comments. First, let's look at strategic planning. It was approximately 1 year ago that the district embarked on strategic planning to bring about impactful and creative change to our district. The diagram shows you the stages of strategic planning: thinking, planning, and action. We are now in stages 11, 12, and 13, which is action, organizing to action, building capacity through action, and action cluster planning. As we look at ways to improve our district, we want to view everything that we do through a strategic lens, and this includes customer care. When we look at the components of our strategic plan, we have our beliefs, and these are the things that we stand upon as a district. Those highlighted in red relate to how we want to service our community. We believe all people have equal inherent worth. Diversity is strength. Each person deserves to be treated with respect. Common goals take priority over individual interests. Integrity is critical to trust. Honest conversation leads to understanding. A strong community serves all of its members, and everyone has the ability to contribute to the good of their community. Our district mission is also very much reflective of these beliefs. And in our critical means, which are the 5 bullet points underneath our initial statement, we talk about how we would like to care for our families. We provide safe and engaging learning environments, effective family and community involvement, and we appreciate cultural diversity. We establish parameters during our strategic planning, and parameters are boundaries within which the organization will accomplish its mission. And those highlighted in red, we feel are reflective of customer service. We will honor the worth and dignity of each person. We will hold the highest expectations of everyone. We will practice participatory decision-making throughout the district. Our district strategies, there are 8 strategies that the district agreed upon to accomplish these goals. And there are strategies highlighted also in red that speak to customer care. We will create a culture of high expectations within the Rialto Unified School District and our community. And on the next slide, we feel strategies 5, 6, and 8 speak directly to customer service. We will ensure full engagement of our Rialto families. We will ensure that we have exemplary staff and we will streamline and simplify the dynamics of our organization. Now, Ms. Kramer will talk to you about our customer care expectations.
So the customer care expectations that were established were set up through a committee that the district had put together actually in April of 2016. That committee consisted of parents, community members, we had administrators, classified staff, and certificated staff on the committee, so that everybody was involved in establishing our expectations. There are 9 expectations, and we show that our customers, students, parents, other staff members, and the public come first. There are bullets after each one to show what our expectations are within each expectation. And then in 2, we interact and present in a professional image that conveys caring, commitment, compassion, and confidence. 3, we greet everyone in a friendly and timely manner. 4, we treat everyone with respect. 5, we answer the phone politely and professionally. 6, we handle concerns appropriately and in a reasonable amount of time. 7, we do our best when asked for help. 8, we communicate in a timely manner. And 9, we provide information that is easy to understand.
Now, what the public will see as we roll out our customer care, next slide, these posters will be visible at all school sites and district administration offices throughout the district. And it starts by setting the expectation. In the Rialto Unified School District, we care about providing an educational environment where everyone feels welcomed and valued. When you, as a parent, student, visitor, or employee, interacts with the Rialto Unified School District staff member, you can expect our very best in care. Communication, appreciation, responsiveness, and environment. Next slide shows a parent survey. We anticipate administering the survey during the month of May, and we will use various means to get this to the parents so we can have your input on how we are making a difference at your student's school site. This will be available on Google Docs. We will have a QR code so you can take it on your cell phone. And also we will have paper pencil surveys available at each of the school sites. And this data will help us as we roll out our customer care staff development.
And then our customer care program will also be for the employees. And with the employees, there will be, we're going to cover customer care at a glance. And the basics, which will be how we treat our parents, the students, the community, and district employees. Acknowledging the customer immediately, providing translator and language assistance when needed, listen carefully, and to ensure confidentiality are some of those areas. By helping people, allowing the customer to speak and to listen to them, being empathetic, informing the customer of the steps that the employee will take to provide assistance, making sure that we thank the customer, even if they're bringing us a complaint, so that we will look into it so that we can improve or make adjustments if needed. And then to take action and to follow through and make contact after we have looked into any concerns. And then also on telephone calls, by answering the call by the third ring, also making sure if we have to put somebody on hold, don't forget that the caller is on hold. We want to make sure if we're going to transfer someone that we know who we're transferring them to and why, explain to them why we need to transfer them to this other person, let them know who we're transferring them to. And then if we take a message, making sure that we let them know if somebody that they need to talk to is not available, let them know approximately when they will be available to return the phone call to them. We also have email etiquette, where we will be going over making sure that we're using clear subject lines, making sure that we are polite and professional in our emails, that we're only copying recipients as necessary, and that we're responding to emails in a prompt manner. Then we're also looking at our plan for staff development. We'll be rolling this out starting in June 2017, right after school gets out. We're looking at our first 300 employees to begin the first Customer Care Academy. And this will include site administrators, site secretaries and clerks, the special education department. This will consist of a 2-day comprehensive program, which will include a core testing afterwards to cover the competencies that we've established. Certification will be provided once they've completed the completion of the modules. And then the training will expand over time to include all district employees, administrators, certificated, classified, including our substitute teachers.
And lastly, we would like to thank our RUSD care team, and we have listed your names. If you're here, you can give a little wave. I know some of them are in the West Wing. They've worked really hard. We've had 18 dedicated parents, representatives from REA, CSEA, CWA, and administrators that have worked to develop the expectations and the plan for implementation. And we would just like to give them a round of applause and thank them for their hard work and dedication to this. And we would like any questions or comments from our board. Thank you. Comments?
Do we have
questions?
any comments, any questions? Board Member Ayala?
Customer's always right, correct? You know, when you go into business and you go buy a product or a service, you know, you are the customer and you're putting in your time, your resources, and you have expectations. Their resources are their children. What else is there more precious than that? So we have to do our best, and what I'm seeing tonight is we're on the right track. You know, there's a little extra work, we're going the extra mile, and we'll tweak it as we need to, but my hat's off to you. Thank you.
In personnel, we hear concerns, and so we take the information, evaluate what we need to do to improve, because as an organization, we are always evolving and changing and growing. So recognizing that we are a work in progress, we know that we strive for excellent customer service, but there's room for that improvement. So this will put that extra insurance that our employees know that we care about them and that our community knows that we care about the service we provide.
Excellent, excellent.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Looks good. Very,
had-
very, very nice.
I had two questions, and just in reference to the, you said there was a survey, the survey that'll be available through Google Docs.
Google Docs.
And is it available now?
It
And
will be
where is it
available
located?
in May.
Okay.
And when it launches, our communications department, Saida and Ricardo, will help us get that message out to parents, and they will know that they can begin taking the survey. We were going to close it, but I was talking to a group of people, and surveys often remain open. And so we can collect our data and we can, house it into different time periods. But there's no need to close it, to give everyone an opportunity to give their voice throughout the year. And so we'll begin in May, and then we'll analyze as we go along, taking the temperature probably quarterly and analyzing that data.
Okay. And then you'd also mentioned in your report in reference to the QR code. And so what was that going to be used for?
Well, that's, our tech department will help me with that.
Okay.
But that's how you take your phone and you can,
Right.
scan it, and then that survey will appear on your phone. And it's just a short 8-question temperature of how we're doing.
Okay.
So it's not a 37-question quiz. This is something that you can take very easily but it gives us good information.
Okay, so the survey will be available two different ways. Through the link through the Google Docs and also
Also
by
paper
scanning.
pencil,
Okay.
yes. So
And-
3 ways. So we'll also have them available at sites.
Okay, excellent. Any other questions? Thank you, appreciate it.
Good job.
Next, we'll have public comments from the floor. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any?
We do. And let me just begin by apologizing in advance, as the forms here for public comment don't always include prefixes, Mr., Mrs., Doctor, and some names are gender neutral, and I've made mistakes in the past. So unless it's indicated here, I will call the names as written.
Oh, sounds
First,
good.
we have Brenda Parker.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome.
That's the long green mile walk. Run. Okay, let me gather myself. First of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Board members, community, everyone that's here. My name is Brenda Parker, and I am the coordinator for the North End Pepper Neighborhood Watch. North End Pepper Neighborhood Watch was established in 2001. I am going to read from my notes so I don't forget anything. Our boundaries cover Walnut, south to Baseline, Eucalyptus, and east to Meridian. So we cover quite a bit of area. We also have a sister neighborhood watch that's just forming that is going to be from Baseline to Walnut and Acacia to Sycamore. So they are just forming, and we're really excited about that. First, I would like to address a safety issue, a safety and community issue. The gate on the back side of Frisbee facing Acacia has become a problem area for the community. Residents has informed me that the gate is no longer being patrolled by school security. At one time it was. And so therefore we have students coming out of that back gate, going into the community, smoking and doing other things, and then slipping back into school. Whereas before, when we had security on that back gate, we didn't have that problem. So as I conferred with Mr. O, he informed me that a security guard had been removed from Frisbee Middle School. That's not a good decision. So far as what we can tell in the community, it has not been a healthy decision for the community, and probably not for the students neither. Another area of concern by the community is the removal of Mr. O as principal of Frisbee Middle School. I would like to take a moment and give you some background of the community and its relationship with Frisbee Middle School students. In 2003, our neighborhood watch group formed a group called QUIP, KWIP. It stands for Kids Walking in Peace. That group was formed because we had several students that vandalized the community as they went to and from school, and they also fought a lot. So the community and the neighborhood watch got involved with that, and we formed that group for the safety of the students of Frisbee and Morgan Elementary and the safety of the community. However, what was so wonderful was when Mr. O arrived at Frisbee Middle School, we no longer had vandalism, nor did we have kids fighting at the school. From my own personal experience with Mr. O, because my son attended Frisbee Middle School, it was because of his relationship with the students, the staff, and the community, while the students and community and staff responded so well. I have to say, on behalf of the community, Mr. O has proven to be an asset to the community, so much so that in 2015, right here at one of the board meetings, the community and the North End Pepper Neighborhood Watch presented Mr. O and his staff with a presentation of an award for outstanding leadership and appreciation for their outstanding leadership. Also, his true professionalism, guidance, and community involvement has now made Frisbee a model school in the community. That is why we are so concerned when a board member makes an unfounded accusation on behalf of the community. I have conferred with the surrounding neighborhood watch representatives, as well as one of our city council's members, our city clerk, and the mayor of Rialto. And no one has been known or know of any votes that has been taken for the removal or replacement of Mr. O. So let it be known that the community has never voted to have Mr. O removed nor replaced. Therefore, we, the community, ask that no board member and no other persons use trumped up community support to justify, clarify, or rectify the ill decision to force the removal of an outstanding, upstanding, honorable leader such as Mr. O. I have to say, as I sat here and listened to the presentation that was just given, as stated in the district strategic plan, integrity contributes to trust, and we need to trust you. Thank you and have a great evening. And I'm not sorry, I'm not going to stay. I'm going to a revival to pray for our district and our kids and this board meeting. So I won't be here at the end, but I will be watching if there's any other comments. I love you all, and I appreciate all that you do. But let's keep it right, and let's keep our integrity intact, because the community is very much involved in this district, and our integrity as a neighborhood watch is very important to us, as well as the safety of the school and the kids. Thank you.
Michelle Ramirez.
Good evening. So I was really happy to see the presentation on the customer care, because I believe that something like that is definitely needed, and if it had been implemented long ago, I probably wouldn't be standing here tonight in front of you. So first, I believe that some things need to be cleared up since last meeting. Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
We did not know that the superintendent's evaluation was on the same day as the last board meeting, nor did we care. It is presumptuous of you to think that that was our motive when we stood here and said over and over what it is that we really need. We need change, and we need policies, and we need someone to act on the current policies, and we need support. And it felt like you didn't hear us at all. If we were here to impact Dr. Avila's evaluation, you would have heard us say that, because we don't beat around the bush. But next, during the wrap-up session, many of you board stated that you care and you want to work with us and for us to keep talking to you and to keep lighting the fire. What does this really mean, and how do we get that to be more than just merely saying words? We had originally sent you all a letter with our concerns of our site, and we sent that to you on March 10th. That was a full month before the board meeting, and there was no response from any of you. If you care so much about us, why didn't anybody contact us, respond, or better yet, come to Frisbee and say, "We got your email. I'm sorry you have so many problems. How can we help you?" Or, we're not really that picky, so we don't really need to hear the words, "Just fix our issues," and we would have been happy as well. We told you then that we have a toxic building. Did you follow up with Dr. Avila, who then followed up with Derek Harris? Because we believe that if you had that follow-up and that directive, something would have been done to our building, but nothing was done. So are we to assume that your silence tells us that it's okay to have teachers and students sick? We told you then that we haven't had any permanent security guards since the beginning of the school year, that we're lucky to maybe have 1 or 2 substitutes fill in daily, and that the safety of our campus is jeopardized. Does your silence just mean that the safety of our staff and students are not a priority? We told you that we had classrooms without teachers and that students were having substitutes and period coverage for months on end. Students missing out on instruction for half of a year. We would have thought that maybe that would have gotten your attention. We told you on March 10th all of our pleas, because our top priority is our students, their education, health, and safety. But not only do we hear nothing from you, it took us to come here and start speaking in public in order for anything to start happening. We didn't jump the gun and we didn't run to you first. We patiently waited our time since the start of the school year, to be exact, through protocols and requests. Maintenance knew our issues, personnel knew our issues, superintendent knew our issues, and we thought that by the time that we got to you and told us our issues, that you would see that they were unacceptable and we would actually see action. But we have been ignored for a full school year, and that's a shame, because ignoring us doesn't work and it doesn't make what our needs go away. And if you care so much, where's the action and where's the communication? And you know where we work, we're only 2 blocks down the street, so why didn't you respond to us? And that's our question, because saying nothing speaks volumes. However, since the last board meeting, thank you for coming to check out our toxic buildings, for finding all 5 of our gas leaks and making our buildings a little safer. Thank you for our long-term substitute for our children. However, still no security. We are entering the final days of this school year, and we want and need very badly 3 permanent security guards. We need presence and we need a safe campus. And we want extensive testing of our B-wing building until you figure out what is making everyone so ill, because it is not the gas leak that has caused the symptoms we have seen in that building. And extensive testing does not constitute walking in and taking a sniff and saying everything is okay. And Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
We are not emotional. That one word you chose to use last meeting was worse than anything else that you said that night, almost. We are passionate and a group that believes it is the right thing to do to stand up for our students, our parents, and the Rialto Unified School employees. If you were passionate like us, I wouldn't be here talking to you about responding to our letter. Our concerns would have already been addressed. And I would be standing here thanking you for being such a supportive board. But that didn't happen. And we've only just begun. So the sooner that we can work as a team, the sooner that we can move forward. Thank you.
Lorette Allen.
Good evening, everybody. Buenas tardes. Last board meeting, I began describing my unacceptable room environment and the health concerns that were associated with our building and lack of maintenance response and district concerns. However, my time was cut short, so I'm continuing tonight. In our last session, I described the rat infestation, soil tiles, unclean vents, the carcasses, and the fight to have these problems resolved, and the constant work orders and communications with district that has continued to be ignored, and then the health concerns with myself and my students, rashes, breathing problems, headaches, etc. On March 10th at 9:55 a.m., some type of chemical shot through the vents in my classroom that stopped my breathing. The paramedics responded and immediately needed to know what I had been exposed to. When maintenance was contacted, the adamant claim was that there was no one on our campus. Why is that the story you're sticking to? When we have multiple witnesses that saw the workers on the rooftops minutes before the chemicals came through my classroom and can identify the workers by name. We all saw them. My students saw them. The sub that was pulled into my room while I was taken out sick became ill also. I'm not sure why the students would be kept in the room after our vice principal smelled it, the chemicals, and saw the negative effects to everyone inside. But regardless, the students were finally removed from the class. And at approximately 3:15 that afternoon, after the entire day had passed, why did maintenance feel it was adequate to walk into my classroom, open the door, sniff it, and say, "I don't smell anything," shut it, and declare that it's fixed? Do you hear my voice? I have vocal cord damage. By the end of the day, I could barely speak. Directly after the incident, I sent an email to maintenance superintendent asking for the identification of the substance or the name of whatever came through the vents. Additionally, I requested to know what procedures were utilized to determine my classroom was declared safe. To this day, I still have not received a response. Why? I ask you guys, why is this acceptable? Why is it acceptable to jeopardize my health and all my babies? These are my students with me every single day. This has been 8 months. This is not acceptable. If they were your children, would you let them stay in my classroom? I don't think so. I can contest to all the incidents that involve my classroom. However, to be honest, other teachers and students are being affected in other classrooms. Maybe not as severe as a B wing, but daily rashes, burning eyes, coughs, headaches are concerning. And what about the gas smells in the buildings that you claim are due to paint thinner in the drain in the classroom next door from water-based paint? Come on, are we inconveniencing you? All we ask you to do is come and make our campus safe. The district maintenance department came out to Frisbee on April 3rd and stated we didn't have a gas leak. They're right, we didn't have one gas leak, we had 5 gas leaks. We had 2 in the B building, 1 above the room that I'm in right now, C7, 1 above C3, and 1 in the cafeteria, a huge one. The cafeteria where our children eat. But let's not give credit to the maintenance department. It took the staff to tell me enough's enough. OSHA's coming out, and so we're going to get these resolved. Thank God for him. What amazes me is the gas leaks were reported multiple times. Many workers put in orders about the gas leaks. On April 3rd, our vice principal went to C3 3 times that day and declared there were no gas leaks. And why not? Is this what maintenance has done repeatedly to deem a room safe? This is training as its finest. Does our USD think this is an acceptable way to detect problems at our site? Speaking of unacceptable, let's discuss the security. Frisbee has lacked permanent security for the majority of the school year. Our principal has requested security since the 2nd month of school, and still to this day, we run our campus with the different security subs daily. The result? A lack of presence, a lack of relationships, which needs to be strong when it comes to security in middle school. With the recent tragic events at North Park Elementary, the need for 3 security officers at each middle school is imperative. 1 to stay at the front of the school, and the other to monitor the campuses. These officers need to be permanently hired to ensure our students, our community, and our staff's safety. Ignoring us on our building issues, ignoring our requests for security and our safety of our students, and not supporting us as a valued school is called sabotage. We are upset that you have taken our principal from us after you set our campus up for failure. But mostly we are tired of clawing through piles and piles of problems that are brought on by lack of policies and procedures at the district level and or laziness or personal agenda. We should not be ignored or put off or be stuck in a toxic classroom. Having a safe environment for our students should be your priority. I know it's my priority. I will leave you with this. OSHA cannot be an advocate for student-only employees. You are a powerful body, and you know that. So you have not stepped up to be the advocate for our children? Why? It's a question you need to ask yourself, because I'm an advocate for all my students at Frisbee.
Gabriela Solis.
Good evening, all the parents, board members, Dr. Avila, and also community members. I'm here to clarify a comment made in the last board meeting by the parents of Frisbee Middle School. They made remarks suggesting that the parents who attend a meeting with the superintendent were invited by other parents of Frisbee Middle School. We were not invited by administrators or the superintendent. As a matter of fact, Dr. Avila didn't know we were attending that public meeting. I believe if I can be of service to better my community, I will do whatever it takes to the betterment of our schools, because my children and every child deserve it. I believe if all parents can come together to help each other, we'll be able to make better our district and our community. I'm reluctant to believe that we cannot come to an agreement to find a solution and come together to make our district the best of the San Bernardino County. Thank you.
Magela Benitez. Magdalena Benitez.
Good evening, everybody. Today, I just wanted to thank Dr. Avila. I am happy to be here and happy for all the changes that we are experiencing. And I haven't seen so many parents attending to those events in my school, but I ask please to be patient. Since we were not used to it, to programs that are coming, we just need more time. I am very positive that everybody's gonna become, or come over to the events. I'm happy to see it. I'm very positive, and I just wanted to say thanks to you. And I have faith on everybody. And I ask everybody to come together for our community. Just look at it like, we are a big puzzle. Some parts does not belong into this puzzle. We need to be reshaped. Some of them are not part of it. They need to be disposal. And need to get new parts for the puzzle. It's for our kids. Maybe my kids not gonna stay longer in the school that where I am right now because they're gonna be moving up. But I believe one day when my kids need help, there's gonna be another parent helping my kids if I'm not there. So I'm not speaking just for my kids, I'm speaking for everybody's. Because as a female, we are the mother of humanity. So we need to look out for our kids. And I'm so sad to hear about Frisbee's problem. I thought we had problems at humans. It makes me want to cry because I wouldn't send my kids to the school. I wouldn't send my kids. I would have just kept them home. I'm sorry, ladies. I wanted to cry. I'm not going to. Thank you, Dr. Avila. I know it's a lot of work for you. It's a lot of responsibilities. But I'm happy to have you as a superintendent. Not everybody might like you. That's okay. Not everybody likes me either, but I don't care. I love myself. Most of my friends like me and love me, so I'm okay. So, a man gotta do what a man gotta do. You are here to do your job. Not everybody's gonna like it because somebody's gonna get affected, but it's your job. Thank you.
María Sandoval.
Good evening. Good evening, board members, Dr. Avila, and the community. I'm here tonight to say thank you to all of you, and the community too, because, well, that's it already for me, my part, and for all the changes. And I know we know there are more coming. I hope one of the changes the district, our district needs and our community needs is more bilingual personal. Because we are the majority in our community. And it's really sad, and that happened to me. My English is not good, but thanks God, I have the time to go to school, back to school, and learn. And it's not easy because it's not my first language. And I know we are in America, but it's a lot of parents, that's a lot of grandparents. They don't have the opportunity, or they don't have the time to go to school. I have this information. I'm sorry. Can you? I don't know if you can for them. So that's the proofs, and there, we're growing. And we need those changes here now in 3 years and 4 years, especially in the inside the office. Because when I bring my concerns, they take time to look for somebody, you know, like to know Spanish, and it's really frustrating. I'm a involved and concerned parent, not only for my kids, not only for my friends, it's for all the community. I'm here speaking for all of them. It's hard to be here. It's not easy to be in front and everybody looking at you. It's like, what is she going to say? I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to say I agree with you. I'm not agree with you. I'm here to speak for the other parents that cannot, that cannot be in this microphone. I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry. And I refuse to believe we are not able to achieve our goals. I believe in every single person. Please, board members, please, Dr. Avila, work together and work hard and be strong, because I know your job is not easy. Thank you.
Marta Avelar.
Buenas tardes, apreciable reunión. Hoy he venido a darle las gracias al señor Ávila.
Good evening. Today I'm here to thank Dr. Avila
Porque él me ayudó con mi problema.
because he helped me with my problem.
No sé si recuerdan, en la anterior junta yo vine a expresarles que mi hijo tiene discapacidad.
I'm not sure if you remember,
Y
but
fue
at the last
ignorado.
meeting I came to let you know
¿Sí
that
me
my
recuerdan?
son has a disability and it was ignored. Do you remember that?
Gracias al señor Ávila tuve la oportunidad de que atendieran mi caso.
Thanks to Mr. Avila, I had the opportunity for them to hear my case.
Pero a pesar de esto, hemos tenido algunas mediaciones,
But even
pero no se ha solucionado nada.
though this happened, we've had some mediations, but nothing has been solved.
El IP de mi hijo decía que iban a mandar un maestro a la escuela porque mi hijo está en mi casa.
The IEP that my son had stated that they were going to send a teacher to the school because my son is at home.
Gracias, lo mandaron.
Thank you, they send them.
En este IP decía que mi hijo iba a tener a su maestro por 5 días,
The IEP also stated that my son would have this teacher for 5 days,
cuando solamente va 2 días.
and he only goes 2 days.
Mi pregunta es, ¿las clases que le hacen falta, las horas que le hacen falta,
My question
las
is, those
va a
hours,
recuperar o va a quedar en el aire?
my question is, those hours that are missing, is he going to recuperate them or are those going to be left up in the air?
Si recuerdan que también les comenté que ocupaba evaluaciones para mi hijo,
If you remember, I also let you know that I needed some assessments done for my child
porque las metas que ha mirado el maestro que está yendo dice que no son claras.
because the goals that the teacher that has come to my house has looked at, he says those goals are not clear.
Entonces es necesario que sean terminadas las evaluaciones, cuales nada más ha visto 2.
And so it is necessary that those assessments be finished, of which only 2 have been done.
Las restantes no sé cuándo vayan a ser. Me
Bueno.
parece que una es el 24 de este mes.
The remaining assessments, don't know when they'll happen, I think the 24th of this month.
Las restantes no tengo idea porque al parecer no hay contrato y no tienen ni idea quién la va a hacer.
And the other ones, I have no idea, because apparently there isn't a contract and there is no idea as to when they would happen.
Así es. Es triste para mí porque mi hijo necesita ir a la escuela, convivir con más niños,
So it's very sad for me because my child needs to go to school and he needs to interact with other children
porque es un ser humano
because he's a human being
y es un ciudadano de los Estados Unidos,
and he's a citizen of the
del
United
cual
States,
país amo con todo mi corazón,
a country that I love with all my heart,
porque me dieron la oportunidad de tener a mi hijo nuevamente.
because he gave me the opportunity to have my son back.
No quiero llorar otra vez porque me duele.
I don't want to cry again because it hurts.
A mi hijo lo ignoraron 4 años
My son was ignored for 4 years
cuando mi hijo pudo haber aprendido algo
when my son could have learned something.
y no le tomaron en cuenta. No
And he was
entiendo.
not taken into consideration. I don't understand.
Fue algo triste pensar
It was
que la
something-
escuela donde va mi hijo, en el país que tanto amo,
It was sad to think that the school that my son goes to, in the country that I love so much,
lo hayan ignorado así,
has ignored him so
completamente.
completely.
¿Usted recuerda, señora Ávila?
Do you remember, Ms.
Yo le
Wanda?
comenté que a mi hijo lo ignoraron, dejaron que la popó estuviera por todo su cuerpo.
I told you that my son was ignored, that they let all his poo-poo be smeared all over his body.
Cuando la maestra lo sentaba a la fuerza en su propio excremento.
When the teacher was sitting him forcefully on his own excrement.
Yo sería capaz de limpiarla a la señora si la mirara así.
I would be capable of wiping her if she was in that condition.
Porque todos tenemos derecho a estar limpios
Because we all
y
have the
tener
right
respeto.
to be clean, to be respected.
Necesito, por favor, que hagan una nueva mediación.
I need you please to conduct another mediation.
Porque al parecer el condado se ha molestado porque yo llevo a un intérprete que me ayude a mí a hablar con el abogado que tengo, porque ya esto va más arriba.
Because the county has apparently been bothered by the fact that I bring my own interpreter to speak to an attorney that will help me this case that needs to go up to a higher level.
Y las personas que se han presentado se han molestado porque yo llevo a alguien de mi confianza, porque yo necesito hablar con mi abogado.
And the people that are supposed to deal with me have been bothered by the fact that I bring someone that I trust because I need to speak to my attorney.
Aunque el distrito me ha proveído de un intérprete,
Even though the district has provided me with an interpreter,
la última vez me dieron a escoger a cuál de los dos quería, que por qué no era necesario tener dos. Para mí sí es necesario porque yo tengo que hablar con el abogado.
last time they made me choose, they asked me that I needed to choose one because it wasn't necessary for me to have two. But I do because I need to speak privately with my attorney.
Y la persona del distrito no me acompaña cuando yo salgo con mi abogado.
And the interpreter from the district does not accompany me when I go outside to speak to my attorney.
No sé qué es lo que necesito.
I don't know what it is that I need.
No quiero gritar más arriba.
I don't want to shout.
No
even
quiero
higher.
que el país entero se entere que ignoran a los niños con discapacidad, señores.
I don't want the entire country to find out that in this district they ignore children with disabilities.
Ellos luchan para estar vivos.
They are fighting to stay alive.
Mi hijo ha luchado toda su vida
My
para
son
estar
has-
vivo.
My son has fought his entire life to stay alive.
Y no creo que sea justo para cada uno de ellos. Si fuera posible, le pido a Dios y a ustedes que pusieran una cámara.
I don't think it's fair for any children, and if it were possible, I would request that you install a camera.
En cada salón no es nada malo.
In
Los
each
papás se
classroom.
lo agradecerían con el alma.
It isn't wrong. I think the parents will be very grateful
Porque yo entiendo que hay niños que se comportan mal por
Because
su
I
misma
understand.
discapacidad.
because I understand some kids will misbehave due to their own disability.
Los padres podríamos actuar sobre nuestros hijos sabiendo y mirando cómo realmente se comportan con los maestros, que yo aprecio porque sé que gracias a ustedes ellos tienen una educación y
Then-
pueden unirse a la sociedad.
Then we, the parents, could maybe take action based on their behaviors, knowing that their disability and that this affects the teachers whom we appreciate,
Al igual como tratan a nuestros hijos.
and we'll treat them just the same that they treat our children.
No es que yo sea mala persona, simplemente quiero que nos digan cómo son nuestros hijos con ustedes y
Not that-
saber cómo son ustedes con nuestros hijos.
Not that I'm a bad person, I just simply want to know how our children behave with you and how you treat our children.
Sé que esto a lo mejor a muchas personas no les interesa
I know that this might not be interesting to most people,
porque al parecer una ley dice no fotografías, no videos.
because apparently law states no photography, no videos.
Yo lo entiendo, pero
I
un niño
understand.
especial
But a special needs child
necesita estar chequeado.
needs to be supervised.
Mi hijo necesita un one-on-one
My son needs a one-on-one
porque él no puede ser por sí mismo.
because he cannot fend for himself.
Bendito Dios, ahora ya camina. Cuando me dijeron que no iba a caminar,
Blessed be the Lord that now he walks. When I was
No.
told he was not going to walk,
no habla,
he doesn't speak.
no puede decir qué le hacen.
He cannot tell me what has been done to him.
Necesito que lo revisen,
I need
que estén
for
pendiente de él.
you to check up on him, to
Creo-
be pending of him.
Creo que algunos de ustedes son padres,
I think some of you are parents,
aman a sus hijos.
love your children.
¿Qué quisieran ustedes si tuvieran una discapacidad que espero en Dios nunca la tengan porque cualquier niño puede llegar a tenerla?
And what would you do if they had a disability that I hope to God they never do, because any child can be disabled?
¿Qué les gustaría tener a ustedes?
What would you like to have?
Mirarlos, saber qué hacen, cómo
Pues-
los tratan.
To see them, to know what they're doing, to see how they're treated?
Por favor, pónganse en mi lugar.
Please put yourself in my shoes
y en el lugar de tantos padres
and in the shoes of so many parents
que amamos a nuestros hijos porque luchan para estar con nosotros.
who love our children because they fight to be with us.
Muchas gracias por escucharme.
Thank you so much for listening.
Espero que me ayudes, por favor.
I hope you help me, please.
Nora Mendoza.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva y doctor Ávila.
Good evening, members of the board and Dr. Avila.
El pasado ya es historia.
The past is history,
Y sé que tenemos que ser positivos y optimistas,
and I know we have to be positive and optimistic,
pero no olvidar también ser realistas.
but we must not forget to be realistic.
A lo que viven nuestros niños en los salones de clase de algunas escuelas de nuestro distrito escolar.
As to what our children are going through in some of the classrooms in our school district.
¿Algunos de ustedes lo criaron preocupándose por cuidar a su hermano pequeño o a sus abuelitos?
Some of you were raised having to fend or take care of your younger children, siblings.
Me imagino que sí, a muchos de nosotros.
Some of us did.
Nos interesa, y a muchos de nosotros también nos interesa solamente el bienestar nuestro,
And then most of us are only interested in our own
por
welfare
nuestra condición humana.
because of our human condition.
El pasado son consecuencias de lo que se vive ahora en el abuso dentro de los salones de clase.
The past are consequences of what we're living through today because of the abuse that occurs in the classroom.
Maestros, algunos algunos maestros usan algunas pólizas que no están inscritas en ningún papel que nos dan a principio de año.
Some teachers use policies that are not written in any paper that are given to us at the beginning of the year.
Si los maestros escribieran la disciplina abusiva que implementan en algunos de los salones,
If the teachers were to write down the abusive discipline that some of them implement in the classrooms,
estoy segura que muchos salones estuvieran vacíos.
I'm very sure that most classrooms would be empty.
Es muy importante el cambio de directores y maestros en nuestro distrito.
The change of principals and teachers is very important in our district.
No creo que la unión de maestros está para encubrir tanto abuso verbal,
And I don't think that the teachers union is there to cover up so much verbal abuse,
abuso emocional,
emotional abuse,
abuso corporal
physical abuse,
y todo lo demás que ustedes ya saben que ha pasado en el distrito.
and everything else that you are already aware that has happened in the district.
Nuestros niños merecen tratos dignos.
Our children deserve a dignified treatment.
Un ejemplo a la hora de la comida,
An example at the time of meals,
al tener una mesa
to have a table
y comer dignamente.
and to eat with dignity.
Lo que lo hacían en en una de las escuelas en este distrito por muchísimos años.
Which was done in some of the schools in this district for many years.
Gracias a señor Montes y señor Ávila
Thanks to Mr. Montes and Mr. Avila
por ayudarnos a hacer ese cambio y que nuestros niños ahora comen dignamente.
for helping us create a change and allowing our children to eat with dignity.
La unión de maestros y personal
The teachers union and the employees union
tiene que trabajar junto con el distrito
has to work together with the district
y dejar de solo trabajar por sus propios intereses
and to stop only working for their own interests
y olvidar el tesoro que tienen en sus manos,
and not forget the treasure that they have in their
que
hands,
son nuestros niños,
who are our children,
el hoy, el mañana y el futuro.
today and tomorrow and the future.
Estamos interesados nosotros los padres en hablar con la unión de maestros
We the parents are interested in speaking with the teachers union
y repasar ciertas pólizas
and review certain policies
que están siendo olvidadas por algunos maestros
that have been forgotten by certain teachers.
al solo abusar muy lejos de enseñar algo académicamente.
When they abuse the children instead of teaching them something academically.
Ya basta
Enough
que los maestros digan a los niños que no son material
that the teachers tell the students that they're not material
para alguna clase.
for worthy of a certain class.
Basta de dejar notas a los sustitutos de los niños malos y los niños buenos.
Enough of teachers leaving notes to the substitute teachers, letting them know which ones are the good kids and which ones are the bad kids.
Basta de tener sustitutos que solamente se quedan en las escuelas por preferencia de algunos subdirectores
Enough of having substitutes that remain at
y directores
schools
as well.
because they are preferred by certain principals and vice principals.
Sustitutos que no permiten a los niños salir en sus 5 minutos de clase, de una clase a otra.
Substitutes that don't let the kids out with the 5-minute time between one class and the other.
Basta de tanto abuso a los derechos humanos de nuestros niños.
Enough of so much abuse to the human rights of our children.
Busquen su pasión.
Find your passion.
Si no les gusta trabajar con niños,
And if you don't like to work with children,
están en el lugar equivocado.
you're in the wrong place.
El cambio comienza hoy.
The change begins today.
Y yo he escuchado muchas preocupaciones de los edificios,
And I've heard a lot of concerns about the buildings,
pero ninguno ha hablado de cómo se trata a un niño dentro de los salones de clase.
but nobody has yet spoken about how
Tenemos
children are treated
maestros
inside the classroom. We have teachers
Que sí les importa a nuestros hijos,
that do care about our children,
pero tenemos otra mayoría que son un árbol enraizado podrido,
but we have another majority, which happens to be a tree that is very rooted, but it's bad.
y que gracias a sus amistades aquí en el distrito,
But that thanks to their friendship or their connections here in the district,
los colegas no han podido hacer nada por
Their
hacer
colleagues-
algo por nuestros niños.
their colleagues have not been allowed to do something for our children.
No estoy en contra de nadie,
I'm not against anyone.
simplemente quiero que se respeten los derechos humanos de nuestros hijos,
I simply want you to respect the human rights of our children,
el no ser humillados,
that they not be humiliated,
no ser abusados.
that they not be abused.
Todo lo que dicen está muy bonito,
Everything that you say is
pero
very
espero
pretty,
que lo implementen.
but I hope you implement it.
Y muchas gracias a cada uno de ustedes por escucharnos.
And thank you very much to each one of you for listening to us.
Somos pocos padres los que queremos cambiar el mundo
We are a few parents that want to change the world,
y ocupamos más locos como estos
and we need more crazy people like this
que quieran cambiar el mundo y hacer la diferencia en la vida de los demás, no solo para su propio beneficio.
that want to change the world and create a difference in everybody else's lives, not just their own.
No olviden
Don't forget
que si ustedes conocen a algún colega
that if you know of any colleague
que está abusando de nuestros niños,
who is abusing of our children,
ustedes también son parte del problema al encubrirlos.
you also become part of the problem when you cover up for them.
Buenas noches y
Good
muchas
evening.
gracias a todos.
And thank you, everyone.
Paula Bailey.
Good evening. Good evening, Superintendent, Board
Good evening.
President Walker, and board members and viewing audience. Tonight, I'm here for a little bit different than what we've been hearing. I just want to brag once again about Yvette McNally at Eisenhower. She's the school psychologist. She's wonderful. It doesn't matter how difficult it is, she's so dedicated to getting what needs to be done for these kiddos, even if she's given just a short time frame because parents' situations. That's my first thing. The other thing, I know you talked about the strategic plan tonight. I was actually part of that for Crucera when the parents met and got together. And that was really well organized. Beth and Ed did such an amazing job making sure everybody's voice was heard. And the way they coordinated it, I really felt good about what we left with. And I was very, very happy about that. And the only other thing I want to quickly bring up is I hope everybody can go to the Putting on the Ritz because it's amazing and it's a sight to remember. And I also want to thank, I know a good number of staff in the district and some schools came out and supported Wearing Red on Monday for North Park Elementary. I know we had donated teddy bears as well, which was really, a difficult situation, but it's awesome to see one school district support another school district in their community and really step up. I work within that district as well. So it was very difficult day for everybody. So thank you. I hope you all have a great evening and hope to see you on Saturday.
Tobin Brinker.
Good evening. I came to the board meeting 2 weeks ago and spoke about some of the issues at Frisbee Middle School. And I wanted to start my comments this evening by thanking Superintendent Dr. Avila for taking the time first to reach out to me and then to meet with myself and Michelle Ramirez, another teacher at Frisbee Middle School. We spoke privately, we spoke openly, there was an honest dialogue, and it was, I'd like to think, the beginning of an ongoing dialogue. There were some commitments made, and so now we wait. We wait to see the actions that match the words, and we continue to move forward. When we started that dialogue with Dr. Avila, we first asked him the question, what did you hear from us when we came and spoke at the board meeting? And that was our opener. And I pose that question to you right now, not that I want you to answer me, but I want you to think about that. What did you hear? And I hope what you heard from us, besides the issues that we had, is that we also need to hear from you. We need you, the board, to engage personally with us at Frisbee, with the staff, with the parents, with our community. And to put that in a context of what I'd like to see, and I'm speaking for myself here, we want to take this out of the political realm a little bit. I know 3 of you are up for re-election in a year. This isn't about politics, so the 2 ladies, I think you're up in 3 years or whatever. Whoever's not up the soonest, come on out, because we want long-term solutions. We don't want a political photo opportunity. We really want to sit with people who aren't looking to run for anything at the moment, but really want to talk to us about solving some problems. And that's the context. And please take it in that respect. One of the issues that I spoke briefly about at the last meeting, and I need to continue to talk about tonight, is the promotion policy that we had at Frisbee for our 8th graders. It's a very simple policy, and I think it fits nicely with the district beliefs that you saw this evening. Your district beliefs said that you have high expectations that lead to high achievement. Well, that's what we believe at Frisbee. And we had a standard. We told kids that if you had to have a 2.0 or better to participate in the promotion ceremony at the end of 8th grade. And you couldn't have any D's or F's. 2.0, no D's or F's. And we said, and if you had a D or an F, then you would have to have a 2.5. This was a policy created by teachers. We did it, wasn't top down. We talked about what we wanted. We started implementing with 6th grade. We had 3 years to get them ready, so when they got to 8th grade, then they were held to this standard. We had parents signing a contract, going through the steps of what this was required, what was expected of them, and over a period of years, we saw improvement. And then all of a sudden, we had that yanked out from under us, and the only explanation that we were given is that everyone wasn't doing it. We have to be conform with what everyone else is doing in the district. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, because what the message you're sending is that you don't have that standard for kids, that you believe that we can just let anybody walk. And the story was given of a kid who had failed every class and was then given a private ceremony here at a board meeting where they were presented their certificate and said, here, we feel bad because you didn't get to participate, and we want to give you that trophy, that participation trophy or whatever, and that's not what we're shooting for. There are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of benefits of a policy like this, and I'll tell you the main one I see as a teacher, and that is that kids now work until the end of the school year. Okay, you've heard of senioritis at the high school? Well, we have an 8th grade version of that where these kids basically stop working at the end. And when we had that policy, they worked right to the end. Well, this year we don't have that policy, and I will tell you it's noticeable. We have a large number of kids who've shut down. They're going to get to do the stuff anyway, and they're not making the effort that we need them to make. We've got another month and a half of school left. I need those kids doing their homework every night. I need them showing up in class ready to work, and I need it to mean something for them. So you took away that piece of leverage that we had, right, to say you may not be able to participate if you don't get those grades. It also teaches an important life lesson, and that's about grit and perseverance. We want them to learn that now so that when they get to high school, they're taking it serious all 4 years because they want to make sure they graduate and walk across that stage at the end of high school. So you're going to hear more from me. And if the policy really is that all the schools in the district have to have the same policy, I guarantee you I will be reaching out to all the middle schools, and we will be working together to come to you with a policy that we can all agree upon that is workable. And we will have things in there to make sure that the kids that are struggling are getting the help that they need. So this isn't something that just happens to them at the end of 8th grade, but it's something that we've been helping to build them up for so that they can really be successful, and that when they walk across that stage, it means something. The final thing I want to say, and I know I've gone over my time, is I want to remind you that last year I came to this board with a grant proposal, and we won a grant to plant 50 trees at Frisbee Middle School. Well, we're almost ready. Okay, the land has been prepared. We're really close, and we don't have the specific date yet, but we're looking at May 10th, and as soon as we know for sure that's the date, I'm going to get the invites out to all of you. I want you to be there when we plant those trees. We're going to have kids and parents and everybody out there digging in the dirt and planting those trees and creating our falcon's nest right next to our cafeteria. It's going to be a great amenity for our school, and we want you all to be there, especially you, Dr. Mohammed. We want you to be there with us. We love the work and the support we got from you, and this is a big deal. So we got positive things going on at Frisbee, but please come out and engage with us. We need you at our school. Thank you.
Dr. Allison Jaffe.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Dr. Allison Jaffe. I'm a speech-language pathologist for Rialto Unified School District. I work to help students with communication disabilities and speech and language and other special needs students learn to communicate, to make their needs known, whether it's verbal, nonverbal, so that they can have their voice in society. Each May, Better Hearing and Speech Month provides an opportunity to raise awareness about communication disorders and the role of American Speech and Hearing Association members in providing life-altering treatment for our kids and adults, but in this case, our kids. For 2017, our theme is communication, the key to connection. I brought some resources from the Rialto Unified School District's SLP to help the board and Dr. Avila celebrate all month long. We're hoping, we know that as we've been in these board meetings and we've listened, that there's a lot of different ideas about what we do, and we do have really complex roles, and it's not the same as it was back in the 80s and 90s. So in order to meet particularly our special education students' needs, as Mrs. Elias so eloquently told me many times, we need to find a way that we can maximize our kids' abilities to be able to find their voice in our world and to learn to the best of their potential. So I'd like to, if I could, go ahead and present these to you. They're only 55 pages long. I mean, you can read it in an hour. So that's just a little plug. They're in order for, So I hope you take the time to read it. As you think about things, we're always open for questions. As you think about things, questions, how we can maximize our kids' success. I know that money is always an issue, but this might be helpful in finding ways that we can creatively better serve our students. So thank you, and it's only 55 pages.
Christina O'Hanley.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Avila. Mr. Mohammed, I owe you an apology. I didn't see you last week, but I want to say hello and thank you for what you've done for me in the past. I'm here tonight to speak again about the removal of Mr. O. And I make it personal. I'm not here to judge anybody or to put the finger to anybody. All I wanted to say, and I have been saying it, and I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I want you to know a little bit about me. You already know that I've been here over 27 years in the district. I went through Irene Newton, Ms. Hendrick, the past superintendent, and now Mr. Avila. And I have seen lots up and downs. I have been volunteer with the school district. Any school that had my needs, I went there. I've been involved with ICUC, which is Island Congregation United for Change. I've been in Sacramento. I've been in the Board of Education in Sacramento. And now I'm back with ICUC and with other organization in San Bernardino County. I'm an advocate for students. And I don't like to say what I do because what I believe says what you do with one hand, don't let the other hand see it. But I'm saying this now because I want you to know who I am. I'm not rich. As you see, I'm not wearing fancy costumes. I'm a simple person. I got great kids, great husband, great friends. Like the lady said over there, and I'm made out of gold that everybody loves me. And what I'm saying, I'm speaking for my personal experience with Mr. O. I'm not here to say what other people said. I'm a believer that what I see, that's what I said. I don't go for what other people tells me. If I have a couple friends, they make a comment to me. By backing up Mr. O, I'm going to make enemies. Well, if they think they feel I'm not worth of their friendship, I'll be sad, but so be it. What I said tonight, and I know my time is almost off, please reconsider to keep Mr. O. You heard the lady over there. You heard the teachers. In my opinion, you're not only hurting ourselves, and I said it again, our children. And in a way, you are abusing mentally our children. Here we are for children. In the past, I went in 2001. My niece broke her leg at Rialto Middle School. The people that were supposed to take care of her did nothing about it. They did not call me. They did not call her mother. They did not call the paramedics. And in fact, the person that was taking care of her that time, now she got a high place at the food service department. I feel like she got rewarded. When I came here with my sister to complain about it, the previous board did nothing. It was Mr. Mobley, Mr. Casalunas, Mr. Hawkins, and they did nothing. They ignored my sister. Why? Because she didn't speak the language? Because she's Hispanic? We didn't come in and remove that principle. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect. All I ask you to consider it, because we are going to lose a big access. A couple years ago, Mr. Montes, you personally asked me to help you out. I'm not going to use that to help me out now, because I don't work like that. At those times, it was a review because it was missing money from the school district. I have, to this day, this person contacted me, and this is the first time I'm mentioning it to you. Shirley Hudson, audit and investigation division, fiscal and monitoring unit, California Department of Education. They contact me to ask me, what did I think of you? And Mr. Avila, Mr. Martinez, they question me about, especially you two. I believe if you end up seat right now, it's because you were innocent and you got a second chance, regardless if you were guilty or not. Why can Mr. O doesn't have that? You there because we believe in you. Please don't make us feel like we cannot trust you. What is the point to have a nice people sitting there and you guys not going to do what we need? We talk about service, community service. That the customers got the right. We always right. I feel like we not been right. We not been right because you're not hearing up. If other parents got problems with Mr. O, it's because they don't know how to approach the problem. I've done it before in the past. If I go there angry and yelling and screaming, they're not going to listen to me. Who wants to hear a crazy lady? But I go with, I pray before I come here, and wherever I go, because I have faith, that you guys going to do the right thing. And because I believe in you guys. I believe in you. And I told a lot of the people that are here, when it was the election time, they asked me questions about your characters. I spoke what I feel. And when we were at the voting booth, Christina told me, well, which one should I go for? You know, you have to decide, is your conscience telling you what to do? All I'm telling you, for my own experience, don't take my word for it. I do what I feel is right, and I vote for you guys. And this is the first time I mention it to you guys. And what I told them, that's what I knew. I didn't lie about it. I don't sit with you and have coffee with you, but I said what I see from you, not what other people tell me. Because I don't believe what other people tell me. I don't believe in gossip. Even though right now we're gossiping here by coming over here and bringing you all these problems. If you're gonna, you said last week that you were evaluating Mr. Avila. My point to be here last week, it wasn't for you to give bad review to him. But the thing, what I want to say is, if you're not going to provide the tools to him, Mr. Avila is going to fail the same way Mr. O is failing right now. Because if he doesn't got good backup from you, all his great ideas that he got for this district is going to go down the toilet. And believe me, I've been here long time. And like I mentioned to him yesterday in the great meeting that we have, I have seen so many things in the district. I have been with so many board members. And I'm not there because I don't want to, because I don't have the time. I feel like I do more in my community than sitting there. I don't want to be in your shoes. Because what you're carrying is a big load. And I understand what you have is a lot of things in your plate, but you have to help us out. I truly believe you can do this. And please, I want to ask you the other thing, did you thought about it, about doing the training with the teachers about the ADHD? Because like the lady too over there, I had the same problem in elementary school, and maybe in the future you're going to see me here complaining about it, that my kid is behind. Mm-hmm. Because I have one kid with the same problems as her. The other difference is I'm not going to come and tell you, Mr. Montes, I want you to do a special graduation for my son because he has missed a lot of time because he's sick. Because if I do that, I'm not teaching my kid good morals. I'm teaching him as somebody to cheat. If he got grades and graduations, it's because he earned it. Not because he got an illness. And say, you know what? You have to push him forward and you have to give better grades for him and you have to do this and you have to do that. No, I don't believe in that. I believe if my other children got achieve and be where they are right now, it's because I taught them good morals, my husband and I. And because we have a great love for God. And without those things, we cannot do nothing. We can have good teachers, good administrators, but we didn't put the good seed in our home, we're not going to succeed. And I see tonight a lot of great teachers they pass in my children's life. I have Mr. Brinker here. I have Miss Carter, Miss Leslie, Mr. Crawford. I have a lot of great people. And I want to mention another thing. Mr. De Sosa, and a couple other teachers, Mr. Brinker, and a couple of the counselors from Frisbee Middle, always ask me, how's your children doing, Mr. Henley? Nobody asked any other students how they're doing. Last year, remember, Mr. Avila, that you said that you're gonna keep an eye and see how kids achieve later on after they finish high school? I haven't seen that so far. But I think you might see it, that's a flower for another bucket. All I said to you, please reconsider replacing Mr. O, his job. And don't take represalias? Represalias? I can't say it right. Don't retaliate against him. If he's back in his position, don't use the little mistakes that he might make against him. He's a great man, a great teacher, and a great friend. And I don't know him just for the last 4 years. I know him since he began teaching in the school district. Like I know Mr. Harris here, last week Mr. Garza, and I can mention a lot of them. You have a lot of great teachers. But most of all, you have to think about the good well-being for the children and provide good environment for them too. I personally have 4 kids with asthma, 2 with ADHD, 1 with bowel movement problems, and dyslexic, 1 dyslexic, and 2 with learning disabilities. But I'm not going to give out on them. This is a new challenge that I put on my life. I didn't choose this. It was given to me. These children didn't come from my womb, but I choose to have these kids. I'm not going to throw the towel now. I'm going to keep fighting for them. And to me, it's a fight for the last 5 years. I want the parents and the teachers to be educated on the ADHD, autism, Asperger's, and whatever other weird diseases coming along in this life. Please, 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 I beg you, hear us. I don't ask for anything else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ismael Escamilla.
Ismael Escamilla is my father. He wanted to come, and he got really sick. He's diabetic. He's 77 years old. Last year, in the last 4 years, my brother, what's it called? In 2010, my niece was taken by her boyfriend from Bloomington High School. And some administrator saw the boyfriend taking her up from the Frisbee Middle School. Bloomington High School. And at that same time, my sister-in-law abandoned my brother, one of my youngest brother, leaving him with 7 children. All these children had ADHD. One got very severe, and when he went to Frisbee Middle School, they thought he was a trouble kid. And when my father went to the school, and I went with him, and one of the secretaries there, very kindly, she translated for my parents. And my mother said to them, she was tired of him being suspended. They addressed the problem, and he wasn't only facing the ADHD, he was facing the abandonment of their mother. We were facing, I said we because I'm part of the family, the missing of my niece, which is later on, 3 months later, we found her under tons and tons of trash, Corona. We find the remains there. And all these affect the entire family. And Mr. O, he listened to my parents, and instead of suspending him, he bent the rules a little bit. And he allowed Carlos to go into the office, at the administration office, and set him next to the secretaries, and sometimes next to him, making sure he did what he needed to do. And my father wanted to address that this is the first time somebody and the school district actually does something for him. Because when he was a BMS, when he was a boy, when he was a Henry, nobody did nothing for him until he went to Frisbee Middle School. The following year, 2 of my nieces went to Frisbee Middle School, and the same problem. They suffer from ADHD. When my other 3 nephews went to Bemis Elementary School, we had the new principal, and before Miss Anderson left, we addressed it with her, and she accommodated someone to work directly with my nephews. Well, my father told me to say to you, he doesn't want Mr. O to be removed either. He feels, like myself and other parents, this is a very important person for our children. Like I said, maybe all the parents not agree with it, but we're talking for our own personal experience. And not using other people's experiences. We're just using our own. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mirna Ruiz.
Good evening, board, community members. Okay, I'm here for I'm gonna actually speak about 2 subjects today with my 3 minutes. First of all, I'm here representing PTA, Rialto Council PTA, and I want to publicly thank, Beth Curtis. She attended our annual HSA 5th District PTA. Which is PTA for the county. So districts and PTAs from counties of Bernardino are present, and we honor different community members, teachers, volunteers. So, and I wanted to also recognize Candace Rojas. She's the librarian from TRAP. She was actually nominated from Trapp Elementary, and she was granted the nomination. Also, Roxy Dominguez, the principal from Trapp, and Alicia Cariciales, which is Andy Cariciales' wife. Actually, council nominated her, and I just wanted to say this real quick because she does wonderful things for our district, of course, along with Andy. And she never really gets recognized. She's always behind the scenes, and Andy's the one always getting recognized. So it's like, okay, it's about time, Alicia gets recognized. So it was a wonderful night, and, we had a great time. And with that being said, we are going to be doing our own HSA dinner, which is May 12th. So if you can please save the date, that would be May 12th. We will be sending out invitations. But it's May 12th, and it's from 5 to 10, and it's going to be held at the bistro. Okay? So now that I said that, I do want to, I have to do this. I have to bring up the subject again about special ed. Special ed has, obviously, we've been having a lot of concerns and issues. But I noticed, especially today, that one of the major issues that we keep having, and if that would be taken care of, it will avoid a lot more, which is the procedural issues. Procedural. By simply communication, emails, proper paperwork, proper documentation, all of that would avoid a lot of things. Knowing the fact that a student needs certain services, like it was told earlier or presented earlier by a parent, knowing that the services are needed, services are provided, but yet procedural issues, follow-ups are not taken care of, that's where the whole due process and a lot of issues are happening. So that is something that I really, really am asking for the board to now step in and actually help Dr. Avila. Because there's only so much he can do, and there's only so much that the special ed department can do. I also want to thank Lisa Garcia and Erica Johnson. I know they're doing a great job, and also there's only so much they can do. They cannot be following everybody. They cannot hold everybody's hand in order for these things to happen. Because then you're gonna have more parents up here, every board meeting, bringing their concerns that can easily be taken care of. So communication and procedural. So either trainings, what have you, I don't know, because I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but please do step up and start looking into something to be done, especially in special ed department, because this is an ongoing issue that we've been having for many years already. And it's about time that we take priority on special ed. Let's stop leaving our kids behind, please. Thank you.
Celia Zelaya.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening, members of the board.
Presidenta Miss Walker.
President Ms. Walker.
Superintendente Dr. Ávila.
Superintendent Dr. Avila.
Audiencia.
And audience.
Soy Celia Zelaya Saravia y represento al grupo de apoyo para padres de niños especiales.
I am Celia Zelaya Saravia and I represent a group of support for parents of special needs children.
Y los queremos invitar a nuestra celebración anual
And we want to invite you to our annual celebration
de los sacramentos de los niños especiales,
of the sacraments for special needs children,
que será el 21 de mayo a las 3 de la tarde
which will happen on the 21st of May at 3 p.m.
en la Catedral de San Bernardino.
in the Cathedral of San Bernardino.
Y también toda la audiencia está invitada.
The audience is also invited.
Como siempre, será un honor contar con su presencia.
As always, it will be an honor to have you with us.
Le agradecemos su apoyo.
We thank you for your support.
Por favor, guarden la fecha.
Please save the date.
Oh, y Joan ya se fue, pero bienvenido. Lo extrañamos
But he's
la
also
junta pasada.
welcome. We missed him the last meeting.
Y felicidades a todos los estudiantes y maestros
And congratulations to all the students and teachers
que recibieron reconocimientos por sus esfuerzos
that were recognized for their efforts
y logros en la educación.
and their achievements in education.
Son un orgullo y ejemplo para nuestra comunidad
They are a pride and an example for our community
y nuestro distrito.
and our district.
Felicidades a Miss Rea y a Miss Ronda
Congratulations to Ms. Ria and Ms. Rhonda
por el plan presentado,
for the plan presented.
the Customer Care.
Customer care, atención al cliente,
Es lo que todos los padres necesitamos
which all the parents need
del personal de nuestro distrito.
from the employees of the district.
Como que nos leyeron la mente, tomaron en cuenta todo lo que los papás pensamos.
Like you read our mind, like you took into consideration everything that parents think.
Estamos orgullosos del trabajo que han hecho
We're very proud of the work you've done,
nuestro superintendente y nuestra mesa directiva.
our superintendent and our board of directors.
Y esperamos que sigan mejorando
And we hope that you continue getting better
hasta lograr que nuestro distrito sea el mejor.
until you achieve that our district be the best.
Trabajemos todos juntos
Let's all work together
y seamos positivos.
and let's be positive.
Yo también oro antes de venir y no solo antes de venir a la junta, sino también todo el tiempo estoy orando por todos ustedes porque sé que el trabajo es muy duro para ustedes.
I also pray before coming to the meetings, but not only before coming to the meetings, I also pray all the time for you guys because I know that what you have to do is quite difficult.
Y a la doctora Jaffe,
Dr. Jackie, sorry.
gracias por su excelente trabajo con nuestros niños,
Thank you for your excellent work with our children,
con nuestros niños especiales y por creer en el potencial que ellos tienen
our special needs children, believing in their potential,
y por preocuparse por el futuro de nuestros niños.
and for being concerned for the future of our children.
Y también quiero mencionar que el departamento de Special Ed están trabajando excelente hasta ahora, van mejorando, necesitamos mejorar más, pero
I also want to mention that the special ed department is working really well, they're getting better, they need to continue getting better.
los papás estamos orgullosos de cómo están trabajando ahorita todas unidas, Erika, Miss Johnson, Miss García, Dr. Bugua, Miss Hyman.
We the parents are very proud of the work that they're doing in collaboration, all the people mentioned.
Shelly Gate, Miss Monterroso, todo el equipo están trabajando juntos y así es como debemos de trabajar todos.
All the team are working together, and that's the way we all should work,
Para que nuestro distrito sea el mejor.
so that our district can be the best.
Si trabajamos juntos todos y somos positivos, este va a ser el mejor distrito. Y estamos
Y-
seguros que sí lo vamos a lograr.
If we all work together and remain positive, this will be the best district. I'm sure we can achieve that.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Francisco Valadez.
Oh, de veras.
Sí. ¿En serio? Muy buenas tardes, noches, damas, caballeros,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
mesa directiva,
Board,
señor superintendente Mr. Ávila,
Mr. Superintendent Avila,
maestros y personal de Frisbee que nos acompañan.
teachers and employees from Frisbee who are here with us today.
Vengo a hablar en nombre de los padres de Frisbee Middle School
I'm here to speak on behalf of the parents at Frisbee Middle School,
y más de los padres que no pueden venir por circunstancias diversas como por el trabajo, el transporte, etcétera, etcétera.
and more so for the parents who cannot be here due to different circumstances, work, transportation, etc., etc.
Esto es en relación a su decisión de resignación, que es un disfraz, un despido del señor director, el señor Osondowick,
And this is in relation to the resignation that you gave as an option to Mr. Oweek, which happens to be more like a cover-up.
Osondowick.
Osondowick, thank you.
Tuvimos una junta de ayer con el señor Ávila
We had a meeting yesterday with Mr. Avila,
y le comunicamos nuestra preocupación
and we told him our concerns
acerca de Mr. O, para que sea más fácil.
in regards to Mr. O.
Okay. Pero ahora vengo a exigir
But today I'm here to demand
que reconsideren su postura
that you reconsider your position
hacia el despido de nuestro director.
in regards to the firing of our principal.
Esto es porque los niños,
And this is because the children,
los estudiantes,
our students,
se sienten afectados tanto emocional como psicológicamente
feel impacted emotionally as well as psychologically,
porque se sienten muy comunicados, se sienten muy compenetrados con el director.
because they feel a strong bond with the principal.
Entonces los queremos invitar a que tengan una junta, toda la mesa directiva,
So we want to invite for you guys to meet together, all the board,
en la Frisbee para que conozcan de viva voz
at Frisbee, so you can hear from the voice
con todos los padres,
of all the parents,
maestros,
teachers,
personal administrativo
administrative staff,
acerca de la decisión de despedir, o como le llamen, a Mr. O,
what they have to say in regards to the firing or whatever you want to call it regarding Mr. O.
porque lo queremos de regreso, porque parece que nada más va a estar este año escolar, pero lo queremos que siga en la
Because we want him
escuela.
back. It seems that he's only going to last the remainder of this year, but we want him to continue at our school.
Porque ustedes tienen que preguntar a todos los padres, porque creo que no pusieron o no nos preguntaron ni consideraron el voto de los padres, de los estudiantes involucrados o que están afectados para tomar esta decisión.
Because you have to ask the parents, because it seems that you didn't take into consideration the voice or the votes of the parents of the students who are being affected by this, your decision.
Porque en algunos estudiantes inclusive les ha bajado la calificación de ahora que se enteraron.
Because in the case of some students, in fact, their grades have gone down now that they found out.
Porque él ha ayudado a muchos de los estudiantes a que sobresalgan, ha ayudado a muchos padres con los hijos que estaban abajo y los ha subido. Y no todos los directores hacen eso.
Because he has helped many of the children for them to get better, because he has helped many of the parents with children that were not doing very well for them to get better, and not every principal does that.
perdón. Entonces queremos o exigimos que hagan su trabajo con lealtad, con profesionalismo.
So therefore we demand that you do your job with loyalty, with professionalism,
sin preferencias,
without preferences,
porque es mi amigo,
because he's
porque
my
es mi
friend,
pariente, mi conocido,
because he's my relative, because
porque me
he's my
invita un
acquaintance,
café, una comida,
because he invites me to a cup of coffee,
o porque
maybe a
votó por
meal,
mí.
or because he voted for me.
Okay. Tienen que hacer su labor con cargo de conciencia,
You have to do your job from your conscience
conciencia y moral,
and your moral standards,
porque no hay esa comunicación del personal con los padres, principalmente de Frisbee.
because you're lacking that communication from the staff with the parents, particularly the parents from Frisbee.
Entonces esperamos fecha para que ustedes en su agenda hagan un espacio para que vayan a la Frisbee y hagan ese meeting, esa junta con nosotros, para que reconsideren lo de Mr. O.
So we expect a date, a space in your agenda where you can come to Frisbee Middle School so that you can do that and listen to the parents at Frisbee Middle School.
Y creo que tienen un gran problema con Frisbee porque no soy el único, somos varios y los que faltaron. Entonces, para que ustedes se enteren que más del 85% de los padres, si no es que más, estamos en desacuerdo a que ustedes lo hayan despedido.
And I think you have a problem because I don't think I'm the only one. If you can see, here we are some, and those who weren't able to make it. In fact, I think that about 85%, if not more, of the parents are in disagreement with you having fired Mr. O.
Entonces, les agradezco por su tiempo y espero verlos allá.
So I thank you for your time, and I hope to see you there.
Una cosa más, perdón.
One more thing.
Necesitamos más guardias de seguridad. Son 3 puertas de salida, ya se lo mencionamos al señor Ávila.
We need more security guards. We have 3 exit gates. We already mentioned that to Mr. Avila.
¿Qué quieren esperar? ¿A que haya algún suceso grave para que entonces reconsideren el que tiene que haber otro guardia de seguridad como mínimo?
What are you waiting for? For something drastic to happen so that you can reconsider the fact that you must have at least another security guard at a minimum?
Entonces, pues, buenas noches y muchas gracias por su tiempo.
So, good evening, thank you for your time.
Ashley Elizondo.
Good evening to the parents, staff members, board members. My name is Ashley Elizondo. I'm actually a student of the Rialto Unified District since kindergarten. Excuse me, I wasn't prepared to speak today, but I'm actually speaking because I feel like it was necessary for the parents that don't have the courage to come up here and express certain things to you. I'm here on behalf of Frisbee Middle School, to which my little brother is a student of. My time at Frisbee was spent with Mr. O as the principal. I do ask to reconsider to keep him there. I also want to thank the teachers that I have out here, Mr. Brinker, Mr. Ramirez, Ms. Allen, Ms. Henderson, Mr. Montes. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. The school is a change. It's greatly appreciated. I can see that these staff members are here for the love of the children. Not many of us have the courage to come up here and speak and express what we feel. And I have always thought that as board members, as people who have this higher position, it's always in our best or in your best interest to be here for the students. I see that there's a lot of parents up here who have not been too happy with the firing of Mr. O, as much as there has been students. I believe the children should have a voice as well, and all that I hear is nothing but positive comments coming from them in regards to Mr. O. He greets the students, he's really involved with them, and I think that that's something you need as any member in the school. It's necessary because the kids feel like they're very involved. They feel that they have that one-on-one connection with the staff members, and that obviously helps them bring up their grades. It helps them feel comfortable in the environment that they're in, which we should all feel that way. Like I said, I was not prepared to be up here, but I just ask that you please reconsider having Mr. O there. It's been a great help to many of us. I can speak for myself. Like I said, he was my principal when I was there, and I felt like he pushed everybody to do really well. Thank you for your time.
That's all.
Thank you. We're done. We're done tonight. Okay, for comments off the agenda. Okay, but thank you. Next is public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Really, 3 minutes.
We have none.
Oh, and now we have none. Okay. I'll save my comments for later. But thank you for everybody who has who stayed to hear the comments of our community and our teachers and staff as well. So the next section is comments from Association Executive Board members, Rialto Education Association, REA. Is any? No? Going once, twice, and 3 times. California School Employees Association, CSEA. Is Raquel anywhere? No. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Communication Workers of America, CWA. There he is.
Good evening, board. My name is Ron Fletcher. I represent the substitute teachers, and I was kind of shocked when that lady was saying that substitutes are no good. I haven't heard anything about that from this district, so I'm hoping that Rhonda will start informing me if she's having troubles like that so that we can talk to those people. We heard from a sub that's in the audience doesn't want to be recognized, so I won't. I'm going to just tell you, I already have my tickets for the Ritz. I expect to see you guys there on Saturday night. But I've been involved with the North Park all week long, and I will just say the children are really, really remarkable on what they experience and the way they see things. I'm not going to talk about it too much because then I'll start breaking down. But I'm glad you don't have anything like that here. I will just jump in on Mr. O for just one moment. I do not know the reason he was let go. But I do know that through the years, I've been to your management meetings. I've doubled up with Mr. O and stuff, and I admire and respect the man. And to be honest with you, as long as he didn't touch a child or something, I would love to know, because I know San Bernardino would love to have him. But I wouldn't want to take him away from you parents here, because it is, you know, it's hard to get a principal that is so loved and respected. And it's obvious you guys really love and respect him. And if, as an educator, if we can have support like that, it is worth something. So like I said, if he didn't touch a child or something, I would.
No, he touched the hearts of the kids.
Wow. I can tell that. Okay, but no, as a substitute teacher, I tell my subs, and by the way, I had 49 new subs come into San Bernardino today, and we tell them, you touch a kid, you're out. Right. And that's what we believe in. I have 8 children of myself, and by the way, I had my 15th grandchild on Saturday.
Wow. Congratulations.
I have 8 girls and 7 boys. The last one was a boy. And he was born to 2 people that met at Notre Dame, and so they've already dressed him in the Notre Dame gear. But anyway, I expect to be coming to more board members, and I hope to see this Mr. O thing resolved. But I will be honest with you, I've already told San Bernardino that he may be available, so you might have some competition. All right.
Thank you. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. No? Okay. Comments from the superintendent?
Thank you, President Walker. And I will be brief tonight. I would like to start by just saying congratulations to all who were recognized this evening. Teacher Denise Martinez, student Felicia Correa, and the student from Fitzgerald and students from Rialto High School for their recognitions and their achievements this evening. Thank you so much, and you make me, the board, and this district and community proud. Second, I realize that we are in the midst of change, and change, whether small, moderate, or drastic, is difficult, and it always brings about differences of opinion. But I am confident that working together with the staff, with the community, that we will get through this change, and am confident that something great will come from this. I also want to address a couple of comments that were made previously with respect to just friends in general. And I can tell you that I am, in my opinion, a people's person. And I do like friendships with anyone who is passionate about doing the right things for kids, and doing the right things for adults who do the right things for kids. It's not the traditional definition of friendship, but I am, again, a people's person who want to make a positive difference. The other, I just want to address in general that I do appreciate advocacy. I do respect staff, community members who voice concerns. That's kind of part of my upbringing. But I also understand that some parents or some community members are more active, perhaps than others, for whatever reason. And know that I have never closed my door to any staff member or parent. There have been times when my schedule has been impacted, and I've done everything that I could to rearrange it in order to accommodate, with a couple of exceptions when I wasn't in town. So every parent who wants to meet with me to share a concern, to register a complaint, or to share ideas on how we can improve our district, you are welcome to call the office, to stop by the office. And if I can see you at that point in time, which I do often without an actual appointment, I will do so. If we need to schedule an appointment, then we will do it that way. But again, I do not have a favorite group of parents. All parents are welcome. And I will, at the very least, listen to your comments, suggestions, or concerns that you might express. That's all.
Thank you. Comments from board members, comments from members of the Board of Education. So we'll start with Mr. Ayala.
Well, thank you, President Walker. Before I start with my comments, Board Member Jawan Collier asked me if I would represent him tonight.
Excellent.
With a few words, and I said I'd be most proud to represent him. So this is what he had to say. Many things have come here to Rialto Unified School District while I've been away. He apologized for being absent. He also apologized for having to leave early tonight. I looked over his shoulder here, and he had some notes here for a calculus exam that he was stressing on. So I understood what he had to do there. So he says, I really don't like being absent. I don't like being late. He wanted to apologize. I personally wanted to congratulate tonight's honorees. I'm very proud when I hear children of my age being recognized. I've just recently accepted the entrance to the University of Colorado Boulder, and he's very proud. He personally wanted to thank Mrs. Polito, the board, Mrs. Joffrey, and all of his teachers, his coaches, his parents, everyone who has helped me. He said it's because of this support group is why he's positioned in life where he's at right now. He said, after hearing commentary tonight, he says, I really believe that the board up here will help solve the problems. He says, just coming from me, it's going to take a little time. Don't be so hard on them. He says, they'll do you right. And he wanted to thank the award that he received from the Rialto Soccer Academy. And then he said, thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you.
Now for your comments.
And now for my comments. After hearing tonight's commentary, it was at times emotional, and it's we're human beings, all of us here, and we feel your pain. It seems like if we're going to make progress, we need to slow the train down just a little bit and use that big key word called permission. We need to get permission before we keep moving forward. And it's back to that three-legged stool again that we bring up once in a while. A three-legged stool, when you remove one leg, it won't hold up. Those three legs are staff is one leg, the parents are another leg, and most important are the children. All three count. All three count. There are solutions. For example, what would it take to have a self-contained classroom? What do we mean by that? We could install a shower, a water fountain, extra clothes, a closet. These things could be done. It's not impossible, but it will take time. We don't have that genie that can just blink your eye. Is cameras really out of the question? Rialto Police Department has gone to cameras. But when we're dealing with children, we're dealing with people, we're dealing with immature situations where it could be very embarrassing and maybe disturbing. But again, with permission, maybe we could make progress. Now, who do we need to get permission from to install cameras? Back to the three-legged stool. Leaving notes for subs. I understand when teachers say, hey, this kid is picking on this kid. Watch him because he could hurt him. I can appreciate that kind of note. If I had a child in there that the other child's going to hurt the child, it's safety. But you can't disclose, say, hey, this kid is not going to learn, this kid is just a troublemaker. You are creating an environment that isn't fair for that child. I remember when I was teaching and they'd give me my list of students, I didn't want notes next to them. Want to start fresh. So I do understand what was meant by leaving notes. As far as visiting schools, nothing unreasonable there. President Walker?
She stepped out.
Okay, Vice President Martinez, do you mind if I address our superintendent? And
Please go ahead.
okay, Dr. Avila, if you could arrange a meeting for Frisbee, I would be more than happy, like perhaps on a Wednesday, any time of the day, to meet with the parents and staff at their convenience. So if I have to go back and forth, that's okay. That's that important. We're not miracle workers. We get one vote on this board, and we're not etched in stone. Sometimes we make mistakes too. We overlook things. Sometimes we need to get permission from you. We can't disclose details, but we can have an intelligent conversation and try to make progress. And, you know, to hold kids accountable, just like we hold teachers, hold parents, we're all in this boat together. So we have to find solutions that are reasonable, that we can all agree upon. And that's what discussion is for. So that's going to be healthy. 50 trees must be planted. I love trees. I do. You know, so that's a day of celebration. Day of celebration. I didn't get Miss Leia's invite date. La fecha. ¿Qué era la fecha de?
Mayo 21.
¿Y dónde?
En la Catedral de San Bernardino. A las 3 de la tarde.
Our Lady of the Rosary.
Muy bueno. Perhaps procedures do need to be revised. Nothing wrong with that. And we have more invites. Please excuse us if we can't make them all. But we're going to do our best because we care. Thank you for the opportunity to share a few words with you. And next meeting, I have something that I do want to share that's deep to my heart, but we'll postpone it in the interest of time. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Ayala. We'll continue with Board Member O'Kelly.
Yes, good evening. And thank you all for coming, and thank you for expressing yourselves. That's what we are here for, to listen and to try to help. I am very disturbed by some of the things that are going or have happened or are the current situation at Frisbee. Number one being the toxic classroom building. I don't know what has been done so far, but at this point I am recommending and I am asking that this building be thoroughly cleaned and inspected by a team of professionals from the outside to come in. If there's any if our teachers are getting sick and the kids are getting sick, we cannot have that. And so if our maintenance people have not found the issues, I suggest we bring in a team of professional people that know what to look for, can clean out the rat carcasses and everything else, and hopefully we can cure this problem. That really disturbs me that this is still going on. The security. Yes, definitely you need a security team. Having substitutes every day is dangerous because the security gets to know the kids. The kids talk to the security. If there's something going to happen or go down, if they have a security officer that they have a relationship with, they go and tell that security officer. You definitely need permanent security officers there. And you have no permanent security officers? No, that doesn't work. And also, I know that I don't know what the problem is that the classroom that has had substitutes every day, why have we not gotten like a permanent sub in there? If someone can find an answer for that. Or Rhea, would you want to address that?
A sub is in the classroom at this time.
For how long?
The sub for the rest of the year.
So the person that's there right now will be there for
Will
the
be there
rest of
till
the
the
year.
end of the year.
Okay. Okay. You know, these things happen, but it shouldn't be going on. So I agree with you, and we need to clear up those problems. We cannot, as Mr. Ayala said before, we cannot talk about personnel issues. We can't disclose that information. But we understand your love for Mr. O. I know Mr. O, and, you know, I know why you love him, so I understand. But we have to move forward with a positive direction, and we're going to try to take the best care of Frisbee that we can in doing that. I also want to congratulate Mrs. Denise Martinez and Felisa Correa. As I said up at the podium, I had the pleasure of working with Mrs. Martinez when I was assistant principal at Carter High School. And I know firsthand what an outstanding teacher she is. Virtually every student that she had in her classes loved her. So I can understand that she has a tremendous impact on her students. And Felisa, that is just an amazing accomplishment. You know, I mean, that puts Rialto on the map, that one of our kids scored that high on the national German test. I'm so proud. And I hope she has an amazing time in Germany. And I did tell her I would like her to come back when she return, you know, next year, and she can share maybe some of her highlights of her trip. I'm also extremely proud of our SIM Science Fair gold medal winners who will be going on to participate in the state science fair. If you know the science fair at each grade level, if you've been to our district science fairs, you see the hundreds and hundreds of projects in there. So, and then you multiply that by all the schools in the county, and you just see how incredible it is to have 5 going on to the state level. So we have a lot of good things going on in this district, and it just fills me with pride as a former Rialto teacher and administrator. You know, I love this district, and we have the best kids, and they do amazing things. So I just want to say that I'm very proud of all of them. And I do hope many of you are planning to attend the Ritz on Saturday. It's always a noteworthy event, and you see a lot of excellent student talent. So if you can come out for that, please try to. And thank you. I will pass it on to the next board member.
And next we'll have comments from Board Clerk Montez.
Thank you, President Walker. Good evening to everybody here today. I just would like to first thank the student speaker who spoke during public comment. Again, I want to emphasize the importance of public speaking and really focusing on giving our students and the youth the skills and the confidence to be able to speak in public. Some people are so terrified that it's very hard for them to do, and I commend anyone who speaks in public or in front of a group. The other thing I'd like to say is I want to thank the Neighborhood Watch parent who shared with us her concerns regarding the back entrance gate or a back door or back gate at Frisbee. I really would like to know why anyone would leave that back door open, why it is not closed during school hours, and I just the comment was that the gate is open and kids can come out and in. That's what I understood. But
hold on, go ahead and finish your comments. We can't respond back to the audience. Thank you.
Regardless of whether the gate is open or closed, I think an emphasis needs to be put on not just making sure students are not coming out of the school through the back gate or through any front gate or any gate, but an emphasis needs to be made on making sure no student is getting out of the school at all. If students are getting out of the school, it's the responsibility of all of the adults and all of the staff members, and especially the leadership, to make sure no students are leaving the schools. The number one priority of any school site is not education. The number one priority of every school site and every school leadership is the safety of the children. That is the number one priority. Our number one priority in this district is not education. It's second. Our number one priority is the safety of the students, the safety of the children, and of our staff members. So I just want to say that I apologize if at any of our schools we're experiencing any safety concerns with students being able to leave the campuses, but that has not been brought to our attention. But I do want to just stress that given what we've been through last week at a neighboring district, where a deranged man was allowed to go on into the campus armed and shoot his estranged wife and an innocent child. That man was allowed to walk onto the campus. So with what we need to do is learn from these tragedies and make sure that we don't go through that. Make sure that we do everything humanly possible to prevent those kinds of things, because that could have been prevented. That could have been prevented. So I just want to ask our superintendent and the district leadership to really look at ways to develop policy and procedure. I know we already have some policy in place, but if we need to change it and make it better, we need to do everything we can to make sure we protect the safety of the students and the staff at every single school site. And I know that most schools have only one way in and one way out, which is through the front office. And if there are any schools that don't have that, we need to make sure that they do. I also want to thank Mr. Tobin Binker for requesting that the board, or that no one from the board, take advantage of the concerns of the Frisbee Middle School and use it for political gain. To do so, I believe, to use it for political gain or for votes, to do so by anyone would be not good. So thank you for that comment. I also want to thank the parent, Mrs. Mendoza, who shared concerns regarding making sure that the students are being treated fairly, making sure that students are not being abused in any way, shape, or form. If that is the case, we need to make sure many of the staff members are mandated reporters. The board and the superintendent, everybody, all staff members are mandated reporters. Parents, if you see anyone that you feel is being abused physically, mentally, emotionally, we need to make sure that gets reported. That no one should be engaging, and I would hate to believe that anyone is engaging in that type of behavior. But just like the parent requested respect also for the students, I couldn't help but think, as the presentation was being given regarding customer service, regarding treating parents and people of the community as customers and treating them with respect and with good customer service skills, what would we get, what would we benefit if those same principles were applied to the children, to the students? The other thing I just wanted to mention was, I know a parent shared a concern, or I guess maybe a complaint, and I want to apologize to her if I offended her for one time presenting a certificate of completion, a promotion certificate, recognition on my own behalf as a board member for that student passing on from 8th grade to high school. The parent, one of the parents called me crying because the child was either led to believe that they were going to be able to participate in the 8th grade promotion, or the child misunderstood that they were going to be able to participate in the 8th grade promotion. Either way, the end result was that the child was not allowed to participate due to the grade point, not meeting the grade point average requirements by a very slim margin. But either way, the child had a party planned, the family had a party planned, spent all kinds of money for the 8th grade promotion ceremony, and that was not the least of the parents' worries. That was not the least of the parents' concerns. What meant more, the waste of the money and not being able to have a celebration party after the promotion ceremony was not the parents' concern. The parents' concern was the emotional hurt that the child was experiencing because the child believed that they were going to be able to participate in that 8th grade promotion. And I'm not saying that the school policy is wrong or bad or whatever. This child had been run over and broke both arms and broke both legs on their way to school. That parent, out of that passion, became a stop guard, a stop sign guard, to make sure that no child went through what her child went through, being ran over. On top of that, that child is special education, ADHD, autistic. How could anyone ask me? How could I say no? How could anyone ask me not to present that child with a certificate? So I would do it again, and if a parent calls me and asks me to do that for them, I will do it for them, whether they're special education or not. The last thing I just want to say is that I understand that many times we do have a emotional vested, we do have a connection to our responsibilities, to our jobs, to our peers, to our colleagues. We do have a connection where we can't help but feel a certain way if we feel that we agree or not with the circumstances. But I do want to say that I refuse to give any details. I refuse to comment on any employee's confidential information. And I please ask that the public not obligate or not continue to ask this board or the superintendent or any employee to reveal confidential information. It's your right, it's the employee's right to have that confidential. So I apologize for not being able to disclose anything or share any ideas or comments or concerns regarding any employee's confidential information, but that's where I stand with that. Again, I do want to say that I agree. We do carry a big burden. We do carry a big load. If you care, if we care. If we don't care, then ignorance is bliss.
That's right.
We could come here and be numb and not feel nothing at all. But we do feel everyone's feelings. We do feel it. We hear it in your voice. We see it in your body language. We feel it in the tone that you speak to us in. We understand. We don't blame anyone. We don't blame you. I commend you for coming here and sharing exactly how you feel or what's on your mind, whether we agree to disagree or not. But do understand, and I do want to affirm that I agree, we do carry a heavy load. Heavy is the load that we carry, all of us here. So I just ask for understanding, and thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Next, we'll have comments from Vice President Martinez.
Thank you, President Walker. You know, tonight's presentation really is a vision. You know, and I know we have not arrived, but that's where we would like to arrive. That all came about from strategic planning, and all the members, all the stakeholders had a chance to get on the committee, and that is when all these decisions were made. The vision was created, the new vision, the new mission statement. And that's for all of us, including Frisbee. I know that it'd be nice to have our own little world, and I love Mr. O. I can't comment on HR stuff either. I'd love to be able to tell you all the scoop. But that is part of the burden, to sit here, meeting after meeting, hearing the same thing, being asked to meet with parents at Frisbee again to hear the same thing. What I can comment on, switching tracks here, is the room that is causing illness. I was under the impression that OSHA had already been there once. To me, that meant that the air had been tested. Having dealt with this myself at other areas, other schools, not in our district, but in other districts, I'm going to ask our superintendent to give the board a report, whether we have had air quality tested. And I'm saying with the proper meter, somebody trained on it, whether it's in-house or outside. Whether OSHA has in fact been there once or not. Let us know what maintenance or risk management needs from us, if anything. I totally agree, and I understand why you're upset. So I'd like to hear. I imagine everything is available, so we should be able to hear within 24 hours. You know, we've come so far in the 8 years I've been here. It started, and nobody would talk to anybody here on the board. These meetings where you were venting at the board, it's hard. It's hard to hear, but it's wonderful to see because we've come a long way. That was not happening before. And again, I wish I could sit with each one of you individually because I'm a one-on-one kind of guy. Meetings with 100 people, you know, giving me what I've already heard, you know, for hours on end. It's not beneficial. It helps you in the respect that it shows concern and commitment. I can guarantee you everybody up here already has that, whether you see it or feel it or not. I know my calendar, and I cannot commit to another meeting right now until after. I'm telling doctor's appointments, don't even talk to me until after graduation. Much less than that. My dog's probably ready to explode about now. I'm dog sitting at home. Wife is out with grandkids. The way it should be. But your concerns weigh heavily on our board. Whether we are able to discuss them or respond, I guarantee you we heard you and we are working on it. But we've got 29 sites, and everyone is just as concerned about their site, but there may not be an issue right now. But that doesn't mean the issues previously discussed and the needs previously voiced have been met. So we're doing the best we can, dancing as fast as we can, as the phrase goes. And I just ask that you continue to hold our feet to the fire. Let us know what's going on, what your needs are, especially things like, you know, the open and closed gate, the security guard issue, the substitute issue. Those are daily things that we can work on with medium to long-term answers, depending on the time of year. I just thank each of you for loving your school, your site, and for sharing with us, really. And I know everybody on this board is feeling it, and it's not often I can say that I can speak for the board, but on this one thing, I know their heart. I've learned their heart. And we love our kids and we love our schools too. President Walker.
Oh, thank you. First of all, I just want to say, again, congratulations to all of our awardees tonight. I was really inspired again, and I said it already, and I took my picture with my twin girl, Leilani, and the girls, the STEM winners. And just very excited about that because it really, because I work with high school students and I work with kids, period, and to see them be able to achieve in that field, especially because they're often not given the opportunity. And for some reason, even when they know they can succeed in STEM, in technology and things of that sort, they don't step up to the game for some whatever reason. So to see those two young ladies, our elementary school student and our high school student, really just gave me, really excitement, because girl power, and the work that we're doing in our own schools. So those are the great things that come out of our district. So for Frisbee, if you thought we didn't hear you, we heard you. And for me, I can only speak for myself. I'm silent because I don't need to rah-rah to get things done. I'm here to work on the behalf of the students and the behalf of the district. As far as the concerns that I heard 2 weeks ago, definitely from my standpoint, I've asked the board, not the board, I've asked the staff to present me with information, especially about the health of the students and what has been done. Historically, what's been done, not just what happened in the last month, or what all the reports, what was done with the maintenance, everything from there, and what the ongoing reports are. So thank you for asking for the formal report to the board, but we sat with risk management, everything. That was a concern off the top, because I don't want our teachers or our students, anybody, to be in jeopardy of faulty health. And we're the ones responsible for providing you the facility. So we've already followed up on that from that standpoint. I know that there's some other steps that they're still following through, and we're going to stick with that, as well as other issues that were brought. So it wasn't just the one classroom issue. There are other issues. So we have heard you, and we are working on that. And it oftentimes is sometimes we have to come publicly to bring issues that we don't know about, because we're not supposed to go to every school that we have in our district and ask, hey, what's going on at your school? Ideally, our system is in place in this district to gather that information and come to us. But when it comes to a head and we have to do that, then we're here to hear that, and we are following up. Now, what I did not hear last time, I did hear you say that you wanted to meet with your superintendent, and I know you've had that meeting. I didn't hear that you really needed to have to meet with the board. Otherwise, I wouldn't have jumped up and said, okay, I'm ready to meet. I have to look at my calendar. But if that is your desire, especially for my time as the president of the board, I will make that time in the next week or two if you would do that. But what I need to do is, because I'm an advocate as well, and so I understand, and which is why, and for those of you, anybody who's going to email me, call me, or whatever, about letting people go over 3 minutes tonight, and we don't often have people come to the board meetings to do public comment. Not often at all. And so when there's a big issue and people need to be heard, I know what that means to make sure that your voice is heard. So I allow people to go and get what they needed to say off there. But there's an arc in advocacy. We have the issue, we come here, and we have then we have to, then we come down here, and this is where I am. We have to begin to make the decisions, right? And so I can do all of this, but right here is where we need to make the decisions, okay? And so at this time, whenever we're done with the arc part, and we're back down to the plateau where we need to, at that time, to make the decisions, myself and our board members are here, as well as the staff, to make sure that we make those great decisions, not only for the students, but for the school and our community. Okay, so that is to understand. So we've got to do all these processes, and I understand, but we've got to be able to work together. And if we're not yet out of the arc, when we get there, we're going to work together to make sure we do that. And I personally am putting my stake on that, because that Axe Frisbee is my neighborhood school. And to understand that what that means. But I say but not to negate what I just said. To understand that there still is a process. We are here. We're not perfect. You all are not perfect. But we have to make this work together, and we're there to do that. So please do not make our silence, especially mine. I can only speak for myself. I do not mistake my silence for not doing anything or hearing what you're saying, because I'm a champion for our students and for the people that serve and make sure that our students are served. So thank you. Oh, the last thing. Raising a Reader program. So we had our ceremony yesterday. Very excited, yeah, right, woohoo! And so we've opened up another school. The Masonic Foundation of California has partnered again with another school in our district to do our Raising the Reader program. And so yesterday we were at Dunn, and Principal Gutierrez and his staff and everyone, we were really excited about that. And the kids sang us a little song, and but just talked about, and a parent talked about the greatness of the Raising the Reader program. And so we just encourage everybody to, if you know about great programs that can help and benefit our students, please bring them to the district, because there are partnerships all day long that we can help to have, to bring into our district to help us to get to the goals that we want for the district. And I want to thank personally, because I know Vince Rollins was our first campus that brought the program to us. So he's kind of our our champion now. He's going to be our trainer for administrators to bring into their program. But for all of you to get involved in some kind of way to help our students, because we, again, can't do it alone. And that is part of our strategic plan, that we need to bring in community partners, our parents and everything, to make sure that we get to the goals, but it has to be a community school family partnership to get there. So again, thank you to the district and our family here for making great opportunities for us, and we're gonna get there. Oh, and thank you. I'm done with my comments, and then Mr. Ayala.
Thank you,
had
President
another
Walker. I just want to remind the community that when we are approached as board members here, there is a Brown Act that requires us, only 2 of us can have a request, 3 of us cannot discuss it. So let's say you want XYZ changed, you could ask, share information, you could ask 1 more board member, but you can't ask 3. And I can assure you, there's not 3 of us who have these discussions at any time. We don't call each other up over the phone. When you see us making decisions, it's because it's agenda-sized and it's out in the open. You can ask us questions, some things we can't divulge, but I just want you to know, myself personally, I will ask you, have you talked to any other board members? And I just appreciate the honesty. You might say, no, I haven't. Then I will say, remember, you can only talk to 1 other board member. Please do not talk to 3.
Can I?
Please.
That applies to the board members. We can only talk to 1 other board member about something we're going to vote on. They can talk to all of us.
Okay.
They can come to all 5 of us.
I'm glad you brought that up because we don't want to get pigeonholed in a situation where all of a sudden we have to answer some embarrassing questions.
Right.
So I hope you can appreciate what I just shared with you tonight, because it can be a little touchy. And again, you know, the ability to disclose it when it comes to staff, we're protecting your rights as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
I had one
Yes,
thing to
and
tell you.
woohoo, you guys.
Yeah.
I should have shut it down after 3 minutes earlier.
I know, you should have shut me
Go
down
ahead.
3 minutes.
Go ahead, Vice President Martinez.
Yeah, another 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, we have 3 more schools, elementary schools, to bring into Raising a Reader before all of our elementaries are done. And yesterday's presentation from the Masons was $85,000, and I'd like to thank them tonight.
Yes.
Gee whiz.
That for this year. Okay, so we're now into consent calendar items. Now I need the glasses. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Approve consent calendar items, reference numbers E through J. Do I have a first? Anybody move?
Move to approve items E through J.
Second.
Okay. Preference, here's no. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? And motion carries. We are now in discussion items. Number 1, may I have a motion to begin discussion item number 1?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Item number 1 is to approve an agreement with Hyder Inspection Group to provide soil tests, structural tests, and special inspection services for phases 4, 5, and 6 of the district-wide solar energy project for a not-to-exceed amount of, is that 140, is a comma after that?
$140,116. Right.
Dollars to be temporarily paid from the general fund and reimbursed by the financier Onyx Renewable Partners LP at the end of the project. Any discussion?
Not really discussion, but I hope Onyx doesn't go bankrupt before they pay us back.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Do I have a motion to move into discussion number 2? Discussion item number 2.
So moved. Did somebody move?
He moved, need a
Second.
second. Excellent. Number 2, to adopt resolution 16-17-30, authorizing exemption of the 180-day separation from service requirement pursuant to section 24214.5 and 26812 of the Education Code for retired CalSTRS members who are appointed to critically needed teaching positions and comply with all required documentation and regulations. Is there any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Now I have a motion to move to discussion item number 3.
So moved. Second.
Okay, number 3 is to approve the recommendations of the Administrative Hearing Panel. Administrative Hearings, case numbers 16-17-38 and 16-17-37. Do I have a motion to approve? Excuse me, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We are at adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No abstentions? So the time is now 10:20 p.m.
And my dog thanks you.
Okay.